Good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Mr. Dukes. Hey, Quay. Happy Saturday. Happy Swac Saturday. I am so glad to be able to come on tonight. We have so much to talk about. So much to talk about. That was a lot of weave waving. How you know it's not their real hair? You don't know. You don't know. Goodness gracious. Who is Chi Boom? That's not how you start off Swac Saturday.
I got something to say. I got something to say. I got something to say. He made it big time, Willie. 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 He gone, Willie.
Well, we're just going to start off with just a little bit of commentary. It's still kind of in the lines of HBCU sports. And I want to get your take on this because I was really interested in this dialogue. I've never heard of this particular man talking like this. And he is always commenting on HBCU stuff. And that's none other than Uncle Luke. He telling Coach Willie Simmons that he needs to check in. Wait a minute. Coach, that former Florida A&M head coach, needs to check in. He says, hey, Willie, let me tell you how it goes. First of all, why this was done on a social media platform is beyond me, right? Publicly. pronounced on X. Hey, Willie, let me tell you how it go. When you check into a real Negro city, you supposed to check in. You didn't. When Mario Cristobal came back here, he checked in. We had to sit down over Cuban coffee. When the last FIU head coach took the job, he checked and asked me to get Pitbull to make a large donation and his name on the stadium. You do know that was my artist. I made that happen. Every FAU football head coach checks in, including the new one there now. That's G shit from a G. Good luck on your season. Wait a minute.
Hello, everybody.
I guess Braxton's making me check in. Braxton, you making me check in?
Yeah.
Do I gotta check in
in
order to do an HBCU podcast?
Yeah.
You know they had some HBCU folks. Yeah, go ahead.
Like and subscribe, everybody, to Shelovesthee podcast.
There you go. But I'm having to check in. You know, they try to have like some folks like that wanted to be like the HBCU podcast mafia. They wanted to line up when people went on, who you can be on a podcast with. If y'all niggas don't go sit y'all asses down.
What's up, Tiger Nation, the undefeated?
Oh.
KGV TV videos.
He told him you gotta check in.
Check in.
Check in is at 11. No, check out is at 11. Look, I've never heard Uncle Luke talk like this ever. You know, he's been very vocal about FAMU, other HBCUs. That's the real question that I have. Like,
hey, quiet. Hey, Whitley.
That's the question that I have. Like, and they both didn't say nothing, yo. Hold up, you ain't gonna be talking to my former coach like that. Check in. He's a grown man. He don't have to check nothing. Yeah, you gotta check in over here. What do you gotta do? Pay dues or something? Please stop. Thank you.
Is it microphone?
No, thank you. So I guess, hey, when you elevate, you gotta check in. Wait, I do HBCU coaches have to check in with folks? I ain't never heard that before. Did Prime have to check in with him? Right. How much are you donating talking about checking in? I made that happen. Look, you haven't done enough for Florida to work the University of Miami to win any type of championship. I don't know. FAU, FIU, University of Miami, Florida State, ain't none of them folks winning national championships. So what kind of donations are you making? Talking about you got to check in. Y'all folks better have y'all head on the swivel. But here's the interesting thing about this check-in type of culture. So not HBCU related, but very much so related to Uncle Luke Campbell and what he's doing, in a sense that the Bears just swept in California, did a sweep, dealing with somebody who made celebrities and NBA stars check in and pay a fee to be in that city or in that place. So it's real like weird for him to say this, especially on a public platform after 50 plus people just got indicted on a RICO and it all had to do with checking in. So, you know, but hey, new levels, new devils. I would have never expected for that type of ignorant BS to ever be placed on the internet. You know what? I'm sure that because he said Mario's name, I'm sure he gonna get checked, right? You can do all type of coonery and buffoonery when it comes to Black people, but when you step outside that box, in which he did, he named Mario, I'm sure he's gonna get checked for that, and it'll either be taken down or he'll have to clarify what he meant by that. Anyway, I ain't gonna lie, when you come to Jackson, you better check in. Y'all gotta check in when y'all come over here. Check in. Make sure y'all check in. Right, like exactly. With who does he think he is telling folks to check in? That's just something that I saw. Don't you be saying it. Okay, here's something else that's funny. Just because, you know, Dre, he keeps it real funny on the Twitter app. But some of you guys might not be on there. So this is an interesting development that just came through. Because this particular person is like viral for dipping his head in ice. Dipping his head in ice and stuff like that.
Hey, Mina A wins.
Melanie
A wins.
Yeah. So does anybody know this young man right here? Well, if you don't know him, he's viral for like dipping his head in like ice and stuff like that. Lo and behold, this young man is an Alcornite. Like, Lord, you couldn't, this has got to be a joke, right? No, it's not. So, a little humor, but he dunks his face in ice water and
What the?
be quiet, young man.
That guy looks like a flash.
He looks like a flash.
Yeah.
Y'all. Braxton. He looks like Flash, like a black Flash.
Yeah.
He runs fast.
Yeah. The hedgehog Flash make with Chase.
So, lo and behold, he's an awkward night. Somebody over there got some explaining to do. All right? And I want that explaining to come.
I got something to say.
What
something to say.
What do you got to say about that? I just want to know. What do you have to say? Yes. Like what? Mississippi HBCU's down 1,000 points, boy, for that one. Yo, somebody pulled up his stats. Okay, Whitley, dipping your face in ice 7 times a day and recording it. I'm not gonna lie, I do ice when I have a headache. I definitely will put my face in some ice water. But y'all gotta, I'm sorry, young man. And then this is so wrong, y'all. But I'm not the one that said it. They're the one that's saying it. And what they're saying is because he does these really, really fast sprints, right? They're like, he's got 3 carries against Southern and like 6 yards against Valley. No. Well, actually, he's actually from Florida. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. If you really want to be real, like he's from Jacksonville. It was just a lie. I did this here. It was advertising for the water. Oh. So he's from Jacksonville, Florida. You're right. Let's not put it on Mississippi. Alcorn State down 1,000 points. But yeah, he's from Jacksonville, Florida. But baby, they are over here frying him on the internet, talking about he had 6 carries because he's running so fast. So, I got one more thing for my opening, and then we're going to get into the show. Shout out to Dr. Kanisha. Dr. Kanisha been having a fashion show this past week because she's been repping all of the various teams that have played. She's been having to switch 2, 3, 4, 5 outfits because that's how deep we are in the tournament this particular week. So shout out to Dr. Kanisha. Let me see who she rocking. She got the MEAC Howard with an Alabama State cup. She got her Howard shirt, Norfolk State Spartans, Coppin State Eagles, Texas Southern, Alabama A&M, and North Carolina A&T. She is HBCU down, honey. Okay? Repping. And we're going to go over all of those games tonight. Where's Mr. Ford tonight? Mr. Ford likes to kind of like shadow the comments for a little bit. He might already be in here. He might be, he might not. We just let Mr. Ford kind of do what he wants to do. And that's how that goes. We don't box Mr. Ford into anything. Hey, what's up, y'all? Did y'all hear about some more coaches that's headed out? Y'all hear about some more of them coaches that are headed out? I got them. So let's go ahead and get the allegedlys in the chat. We even got a football coach to talk about. So here it is. It says, which, I mean, am I going to laugh? I am going to laugh because that boy be running hard as hell. That boy be running hard as hell on that on the screen. They said, so looking at it, bro, we need to go ahead and get at least 10,000. He was a running back for Alcorn State, 5'11", from Jacksonville, Florida. And then Chuck went and looked it up and he said 6 carries, 8 yards on the career. He gained more yards diving into that pool than on the football field. Chucky. Anyway, let me get up off of this young man because here's what I like about the evolution of things, right? And that's the ability to make something yours and basically profit off of it. So, hey, he is getting to the money, dipping his face in ice and exercising and running. I might as well go ahead and play it because the news that came out right before the game.
Oh my God.
Why would you release that right before the game?
Oh my God.
How you gonna fix it? You done messed me up to death with vision. I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me. Don't feel like I just been abused out here today. God ain't pleased with this. You can't do the Saints like this. Boy, I don't even know what I'm gonna sit out here telling the police car. I'm gonna sit out here telling the police car. I'm doing a refund.
Y'all go ahead and type allegedly in the comments. Allegedly.
This is gonna be a good one.
Coach Larry Vickers is going to be hired as Auburn's new head coach. Allegedly. Allegedly, y'all. When I heard that, my mouth dropped, because why would you wait until the day of? Like, why did that have to come out today? But let's go over his resume, because it's quite impressive. While I'm saying this, I'll say this, and this is not a dig at all. It's not a dig. I promise you it's not. But I do wonder if Coach Reed would have waited another year, would she have gotten a job like this, right? I would think Auburn, not saying that Charlotte isn't, I just feel like, what if, right? Okay. What if? Okay, so Coach Vickers, let's look at the last 5 years. So in 2019, 2020, basically COVID, there's 19-11 overall, second place finish in the MEAC semifinals. 2020, 2021, I think 5-9 overall, second in the South MEAC semifinals. So from 2021 to 2022, he started recruiting and getting them folks in there. And he just took off from 17-12, 11-3 overall record in conference play. He was first, and they postseason, of course, the MEAC final and the WNIT first round. 26-7 overall record, 2022 to 2023. First again in the MEAC. He's MEAC champions in NCAA first round. Last year, 27-6, 13-1 record, first overall in the MEAC, and then of course the NCAA round. And then of course you have this year where they had a very of course you're going to see the progression for the Norfolk State women's basketball team, but statistically they ended 30-5. They only lost 5 games this season, and they had some really huge finishes over some power 4 and 5 teams. They beat Auburn in December. They beat Appalachian State. They beat Radford, Drexel, William and Mary. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong spot. Give me a second, y'all. I'm in the wrong spot, y'all. Let me see. Okay. No, they beat William and Mary. Did they beat Missouri this year? Yeah, they beat Missouri. They only lost to Alabama by 10 points. They beat Radford, UNCW, Wyoming, St. Louis. And yeah, they did end up beating Auburn. So they really beat some big teams. And I understand, y'all. I'm just saying, what if? That's all I'm saying. I think that if you're going to leave, this is a basketball program you want to leave for. Other than the fact that sometimes, I don't know, we're going to see new levels, new devils in terms of NIL deals and what you're expected to do at the Power 5 level. But if you're going to do it, right, if you're going to leave an HBCU, leave for a better job. Yeah, so the salary jump is substantial in terms of, let me pull that up. I want to say the current coach was making like $500,000 and $500,000 worth of incentives included in the contract. Like if you have a certain number of wins in conference and pretty decent. You can drink some water. I'm gonna pull this up though, because that game was hard to watch. It's crazy that it's Jackson State's postseason, and I'm still having like heart throbs and heart palpitations watching all of these HBCU games. I'm getting ready to tell you guys what I thought about that game. About the overall officiating of that game, the way that folks were blowing that whistle.
Exactly. So they can take it the way they want to.
I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about it.
I think it's some bullshit calls.
That thing had me stressed, y'all. Had me stressed. That's right, baby. I love. Yeah. And to see Coach Richards get 4th place, and she had the latest start out of everybody, and technically we could be tied for 3rd had we not lost to Valley at the end of the season. Man, what? I want to give a shout out to all of the players that were in postseason play today. Today, yesterday, throughout the week. You guys all did an amazing job. And it's great to see our players get on those stages. And sometimes the commentators are biased and they make it seem like, I can understand in football because, of course, you have more scholarships or whatnot. But when you're talking about basketball in terms of like talent and stuff like that, like an HBCU is going to have less talent, maybe less coaches and stuff like that. But the talent gap is not necessarily that wide. And I feel like a drawback is that some of these HBCUs will try to schedule some of the mid-major programs or even some of the Power 5 programs. And this next season, they're not going to schedule them because they don't want to lose. I think, yeah, so that. So I'm going to start with North Carolina A&T. They participated in the WBIT. This is like an extension from the NCAA. So the NCAA owns this particular tournament. They ended the season 19-12 overall, 15-3 in conference. And their last game that they had was against the number 1 seed for the WBIT, which is Virginia Tech. Last year they competed in the WNIT. They hosted it, and it was really, really nice. So this year, they played Virginia Tech. Overall, they struggled with shooting from beyond the arc. So their 3-point percentage was like 0.09. They struggled with free throws. They were only shooting at 42%. Both teams had relatively the same amount of turnovers, so 16 turnovers and 15 turnovers. Kanaya Clark had 19 points. Jordan Dorsey had 11 points. Pierce Locke had 6, and Asia James had 5. I'm not sure. Did Bracone actually play? Maybe Bracone didn't play. I don't think Bracone played for this. Bracone. I don't think she played this particular game because her name's not up here in the stats. So, that was a big game. Towards the end of the season, I think it had to do with injuries, more so to speak, for the Aggies. And, they struggled to play in the CAA tournament. They were out the first round. They still got a chance to go to the WBIT. All right, let's see who's next. Ooh, Texas Southern. Texas Southern women's basketball, they were an automatic qualifier for the WNIT. And they submitted a bid to have a home game. And they won that particular bid. Through that bid process, they were able to win. So they played St. Mary's College. There wasn't a lot of people there. It says the attendance was 573. I'm not sure if Texas Southern is on spring break or not. That could have contributed to it. But it's still very cool to be able to host a game. And let's see. Van Troy had 16 points, 4 steals, only 3 assists, and 10 rebounds. Texas Southern did win. So we have Texas Southern. Who else is Coppin State and Howard that are advancing? I want to say. I don't know if I froze or not. Okay. So Texas Southern, Coppin State, and Howard. I don't think I missed anybody that are advancing in the and they're all playing in the WNIT. I wish that there could have been more people there, but I think they're on spring break. I'm pretty sure they're on spring break. Still cool to host it. Now, I'll tell you like this, when the Aggies hosted it in Greensboro, I went last year, got my credentials. It was packed house, very packed, very aggressive, very loud. That attendance number is fake. Hey, Mr. Ford.
Hey, you all right, man?
Yes, how you doing?
All right, I'm doing good.
Hey, Mr. Ford.
Hey, Brax, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing
The
good
attendance
too.
number is fake.
I sit up and watch. I left the Gonzaga Houston game. I saw enough of that.
Then Gonzaga or
Yeah,
Houston?
it was Gonzaga in Houston. I watched that, and then I said, I've seen enough. So come on up. Hey, Miss Whitley.
Yeah. Mr.
Emmett,
Jones said, "Hey, Mr. Ford."
Emmett Jones said hey to you, Mr. Ford.
Hey, how you doing? Everybody doing good?
Yeah. Including me.
Yeah, you doing all right?
Um, Mr. Ford, we got some stuff
Uh-huh.
to talk about. We got some
Yeah,
juicy stuff to talk
I've been doing me some fact finding, and I was listening last night. I was watching MSNBC, and I heard some stuff I had no idea of, and then I had some facts I heard today from MSNBC. I guess we'll have to fact check. But the one that stood out to me was that they said that Black people in America spend $12 million a day with Target. And I just was like, what? And then the next one
I
was,
don't believe that.
that's what I've heard today. They said that Black
Target
people
is giving
spend,
out so many. They send me. Okay, so I did
uh-huh,
have a Target red card, and I would shop at Target when there were sales, but I
yeah,
have not
yeah.
patronized Target for a while. Mr. Ford, they're
But listen,
sending so many deals, 50% off this, 40% off this, 30% off this, and you can stack it 15%, 15.
but listen, they said today that Target hires over 400,000 Black people. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what I heard today. Now, I also found out the reason why Target was picked out to be boycotted. The number one reason was when George Floyd was killed, Target said they would spend $25 billion with Black businesses. And then the second thing was when Trump came out with his stuff against DEI, Target was one of the first companies to go along with it. So that's why they were boycotted.
Well, I think we're getting ready to be in an economic recession. So I really feel like these businesses are.
Yeah.
I think these businesses are lying. Somebody lying. Big Lots done went out of bankruptcy. Who else? Joanne Fabrics bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Your phone breaking up, Mr. Ford. You sound like a robot. You still breaking up, Mr. Ford. So while Mr. Ford goes back out and comes back in, I'm gonna finish up on Texas Southern. So they have a 17-15 overall record, 14-4 in the Swac. Treasure Thompson had 10 points, 9 rebounds. And Deja Holmes had 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. So, overall they were 19 of 50 for field goal percentage, 6 of 22 for 3 points, 10 of 19 for free throws, 12 offensive rebounds, and 25 defensive rebounds. Just, going into the next round, you just have to elevate, of course. Make sure that you're getting all of your free throws. What else do you need to do? Not turn the ball over. Very important not to turn the ball over. Like, as you progress, free throw percentage is very important. Turnovers, because we know that the whistle gets a little bit tricky when HBCUs go further in a tournament. The further you go, the more likely you are to meet some questionable whistles. So you're going to have to clear those up in order to stay in the game. But they were able, and they were actually leading St. Mary's by as much as 10. They kind of like gave away the lead. It's like all you have to do is literally hold the ball. That's all you have to do is hold the ball. Hey,
can you hear me now?
yeah, you sound much better
Okay,
now.
okay.
So you were saying that basically folks be spending their bread at Target.
Yeah. They said that the first one I remember was they said Black people spend $12 million a day with Target. Target hires over 400,000 Blacks. The reason they went after Target was because after the George Floyd murder, they said they would spend $25 billion because Target's headquarters is Minneapolis. And they said they would spend $25 billion with Black businesses. And when President Trump said that he was going to cut out DEI, they were one of the first companies to go. Now, with a lot of companies that went with them, but they were one of the first. That's why they picked out Targeted to boycott.
Well, I've been boycotting them successfully.
Oh, yeah.
I've been boycotting them successfully. I'm excited about. See, here's the thing, though. Just a little bit off topic, but folks are over here talking about boycotting, and we don't have the same infrastructure that we had during segregation and like trying to fight to desegregate. We don't have those same mechanisms in place. Like when segregation was happening, Black folks had all of the various entities to only shop Black only. They just weren't as good as in good of condition. So we had our own grocery stores, we had our own restaurants, we had our own schools. We had a system set into place. So if you decided you're going to boycott transportation, they had set up a way for people to still get to work. We have none of those. We don't have our own of anything at this point, not even the gas station or the liquor store in Black neighborhoods. Majority of them are not owned by Black people.
Oh, yeah.
So when they say boycott, it's kind of like kissing your sister, because if you boycott Target but you shop at Walmart, like Walmart has had their hand in stuff, right?
Yeah.
If it's not Walmart, it's like the banks, the insurance companies, any and everything that's run in our society. There's, especially in America, you're always going to have some sort of tie back to something racially. There's not like a race neutral company, especially the ones that are really, really successful and worth billions and billions of dollars. If you go back and look at their origins, you'll find some hand of slavery in it. And they got reimbursed, right, Mr. Ford?
Now, who was this?
All these businesses, insurance companies, banks, they got and some of these owners of these big Fortune 500 companies, like a lot of them got reimbursed for turning in their slaves or not having slaves.
That's New York Life. All of those major insurance companies on Wall Street, all of them were involved in the slave trade. Not only that, all of your, well, I'll say, if you go back and look at most of the what we call the Ivy League universities, they were all involved in the slave trade. The reason that their reserves are so high is because of the residuals they got back from the slave trade. When you look at their endowments, the reason their endowments are so got billions of dollars, that a lot of that money came from the slave trade.
And that's what I was saying. Like when they say, "Oh, Black people need to boycott," it's like we can definitely budget our money better, not spend it on stuff. But at the end of the day, everything that you have going on in life is connected some way, somehow to some way connected to slavery. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, slavery built this country. The slave trade built this
So
country.
that's why when people say, let's boycott, it's kind of like you're boycotting Target and you're going to go spend money at another place that more than likely still has a link to, in some form or fashion, slavery. So
Oh yeah.
it's gonna get rough though, because like you said, I remember you were saying that there's probably going to be some type of race war or something.
Oh,
Black folks just
well, let me say this. You also going to see a class war. You're going to see a class war because when you look at what they've done in the last 2 weeks, while they basically thrown out veterans, taking their jobs, you're attacking 300,000 federal workers. Yeah, you're going to see a class war. You're definitely going to see a class war. To see, I don't know if you saw it. You saw on television where the people were shooting the Teslas and they were vandalizing the Teslas in California.
I thought that those were people that Tesla hired to do that, to make people be like, yeah, I'm going to go buy a Tesla.
No. What's happening with Tesla now? The people who own Tesla, they're taking the Tesla logo off and putting Mazda, Toyota. They don't, because what these people are doing, if they see it's a Tesla, then they want to vandalize it. So the owners of these Teslas are now taking all of the logo off and putting stuff like Mazda logo or putting Toyota logo on it.
Well, this Cybertruck, you're
oh, that thing is a mess. That Cybertruck is a mess.
Not gonna be able to,
oh man. Did you see the thing about it? How easily it catches on fire? They did it the other day about the Tesla truck.
I haven't heard that. I just know that.
Yeah, the Tesla truck is a mess.
Oh,
it's Lord.
A mess. So a mess. I wanted to quickly shout out Coppin State women's basketball team. They competed in the
congratulations.
WNIT. They beat Colgate 58 to 48.
Right.
Field goal percentage wise, they were shooting at 44.2%, while Colgate was only shooting 25%. From 3-point range, Coppin was 33%, while Colgate was 30%. Free throws, they're going to have to clear those up for this next round. Coppin was shooting at 53%, while Colgate was shooting at 90%. They both had 39 rebounds. They're going to have to reduce their turnovers. They had 12 turnovers and 11 steals. Angel Jones had 14 points. Danny McTeer had 12. Layla Lawrence had 10 points, and Tiffany Hammond had 8. This is the women's team's improved to 19-14 on the season with their second postseason win in school history. So this is history for them. They're going to be playing at Cleveland State.
They're going now. This is Coppin.
Yes, Coppin State will be playing.
For
the second round, they'll be playing at Cleveland State. At 7 p.m.
Right. Okay.
And Colgate is in the Patriot League.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was a really good win. So congratulations, of course.
Who's the head basketball coach at Coppin State?
The coach is Jermaine Woods.
I'm I got to look him up. I don't know. Do you know anything right offhand about him?
This is his 3rd season as head coach of Coppin State's women's basketball program. After serving 2 seasons as the team's associate head coach, he was promoted to the helm. Let's see. The past season, Coppin advanced to the MEAC semifinals for the first time since 2016 and posted impressive non-conference road wins at FIU and Pittsburgh. He's helped cultivate a winning culture within the program that won a school record 6 games against non-conference Division I opponents.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he worked at Wake Forest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he spent 3 seasons as an assistant coach at Wake Forest, where he primarily worked with the guards. Before Wake Forest, he worked as an assistant coach and recruiting coordinator at Old Dominion University.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. He got his start in collegiate coaching at Virginia Tech.
And he got he's got his undergraduate is where? From where?
He earned his bachelor from Norfolk State University.
Oh, he's from Norfolk. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Behold the green and gold. That's
That's right. Behold the green and the gold. He's a Spartan.
Do you not understand what this means, Mr. Ford?
Huh?
Do you know that Norfolk State's women's basketball coach is allegedly headed to Auburn?
That guy's good. You talking about Vickers?
Yes.
Vickers is good. I'm telling you, I've been watching him. See, I remember when he played at Norfolk, and then he was coaching women. I mean, he's coaching men, and then they took him over from the men to the girls. He's good. Vickers is good. I'm telling you, he's good, and he's got real good people skills too.
No, but I saw someone say Jermaine Woods is next in line, possibly. If I think Liv said that he would be next in line. I didn't know anything about him, but now that I see that he graduated from Norfolk State, there's the connection, right?
Right.
If Vickers is allegedly being
Vickers
named,
is good. I'm telling you, I've talked to people about him. He's good. He's good.
I don't know where they're getting this from, but it's all over the world.
To my dismay today, I didn't understand this. I was listening to Carlos Brown's show. You know, I listen to Carlos, right? And there was all this criticism.
That's Southern, right?
Yeah, and on the chat today, they had all this criticism of Jackson State's men's basketball coach. And I just thought this got to be self-hatred or something. Because how could you, I mean, he's done a great job.
Oh my God, why do these?
Huh?
You said Southern was hating?
It was just people in the chat, you know, they were saying all this derogatory stuff about the men's basketball coach at Jackson. They were saying he needs to go to a clinic and he didn't play but 6 players. And I didn't see, you know, I watched that. I watched, let me say this. I watched the last 7 minutes of the Alabama State Jackson game. I thought the last 7 minutes was great. They were going back and forth. It was hard fought. And I just listened to all this criticism that I didn't understand it.
What happened is, you know, I told you that the Gremlin Knight, your fellow Gremlin Knight, was making, you know, statements and stuff. It's like rage bait. They get clicks, views, because this is the thing. Regardless of people like you, they don't like you, sometimes they still will watch, right?
Yeah.
So folks will make like the most ridiculous statements.
Yes, right.
And it's like they want to draw attention. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's just comes if Jackson State's not worried or complaining about us losing, why is another team worried? When didn't y'all win the Swac championship for the regular season? Y'all was out in the first round. That's what you need to talk about. What you worried about our coach for and what he got going on?
Yeah, that's what I was. I didn't understand. To me, I thought it was self-hatred because I thought he did a great job.
They got put out the first.
you know.
Well, Mr. Ford, that Jackson State Southern, it's a different breed, right?
Oh yeah, I know that. That's a heavy rivalry and they don't like each other. But I just thought that the criticism was unwarranted.
Mitchell
I,
and
I,
Hunt got hurt, which Mitchell is a huge contributor of bench points. Like he contributes. I don't have the average, which I can go ahead and look it up, but he's a huge contributor for bench points. I want to say in the game versus Bethune, he contributed like 16 points. Like, and then Hunt, our main guard, he got hurt. That's two players out of our rotation that got hurt. And then I don't know. Alabama State is good. Okay?
oh yeah. I mean, it was.
Like,
Listen, I thought it was a good game. Like I said, I only saw the last 7 minutes, but I thought the last 7 minutes was really a good game. I didn't know who was going to win, and I thought it was a great game.
did you watch them against St. Francis? Not even
No,
St. Francis. Did you watch Alabama
no.
State?
You told me no. I didn't get a chance to watch that game. I got to go back and do it.
Alabama State played really well versus Auburn. And they are very whistle heavy. If you even flick them, they're calling a foul on you, right? Alabama State was getting busy with Auburn. Like, I really was impressed with how they were moving. They're Mr. Ford, they had somebody on the team, and I said, where in the hell does he come from? Because I didn't see him. He's 7 foot tall.
At Alabama State?
Yes, I don't even think I saw him in the game versus Jackson State. I said, where the hell did he come from? He's 7 foot tall. They put him out there with Auburn when he played, because I was at the actual game with my son, in Atlanta. We were there for the Alabama State versus Jackson State game. And I didn't see that 7-footer until the Auburn game. I don't think I even saw him against St. Francis. I said, where did this young man come from? And
I
he
have
was
to look
going
him
toe
up.
to toe. Yes, 7 foot tall. I said, damn, he's huge. But they were just real whistle heavy. And then their shots weren't falling. Like in the second half, their shots weren't falling. Your shots have to fall. You have to get those free throws. I mean, free throw percentage, they were at 57%, and they weren't getting as many free throws.
Okay.
They did have 10 steals, though, to Auburn's 2. They had 10 turnovers, and they made Auburn turn over 12 times. Field goal percentage-wise, they held Auburn to 45%, which is pretty. I felt like Alabama State definitely went toe-to-toe with them. And I feel like the stark difference is that they blow the whistle heavy in Auburn's favor.
Well, you know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's nothing that you can do about that part.
Yeah.
You can just play,
Well, let me ask you, where's the 7-footer from? What's his hometown?
Oh, look. Good Lord, he was. I said, ooh, who is that? And Auburn couldn't get with him. I said, wow. I don't know why they was talking about us like that. But you know what, Mr. Ford, that just comes with the territory.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they gonna say something.
I just thought it was self-hating. I figured something, because he did a great job. Mo Williams did a great job this year. He did a great job.
So where do you think all the hatred is coming from?
I didn't understand it. I don't know, if these were just, because what I do is, you listen to them talking and you look at the chat, and then all of this criticism came up about Mo Williams, and I was like, where is this coming from? One of them said he needs to go to a coaching clinic. Some said about he didn't use but 6 players, and that was a waste of money. I just was like, man, this is crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Just go back and look at the Carlos Brown show for today. Go back if you get a chance. Go back and look, and then look at the chat. Watch the tape.
If it was some folks that was talking real sticky, I probably already got him blocked. I ain't gonna hold you. His name is Ubong. Oh, I hope I'm saying it right. They had some height. Okan, he's 7'1". He's from Akwa Ibom, Nigeria.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's from Nigeria. Okay.
Graduated from Georgia Highlands. Baby, they had some height on them. 7'1", 6'10", 6. You know what? I definitely would. Yeah. He has some height on him. 7'1", and he was getting busy with them folks.
Okay.
I said, where he come from? They must not. He must have said, we don't even got to play that type of big for Jackson State. We don't need him. Oh, if it was Adrian Crook, Mr. Ford, you have to excuse him. I can't see his comments.
That's who was saying all that stuff today?
That's probably who it was, but he is mentally ill when it comes to talking about Jackson State.
Oh, okay.
Like anything
is he
dealing with Jackson State.
What school is he repping?
He's not even. They told me that he didn't even graduate from Southern.
Oh, he's a Jag.
He's supposedly, but they said that he didn't graduate.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I was very thoroughly impressed with Alabama State. Yes, thoroughly impressed. All right, let me see. Did I cover everybody? Alabama A&M. They were at home. No, they were not at home today. I'm sorry. Alabama A&M women's team. They were against. Who did they play today? Chattanooga. They played Chattanooga today.
Did they win?
And no, they did not.
Okay.
The only one that won today was the only two that are, or three that are advancing is Howard, Coppin State, and Texas Southern. Those are the three. It was a very close game, though. It was down to the wire. They ended up falling to Chattanooga 53-49.
Oh, that game was in Huntsville? Where was that game?
No, it was in Chattanooga. So I don't know if it's because Chattanooga was because I said, man, that would have been a great game to have, in Alabama A&M, brand new facilities, upgraded facilities, and Alabama A&M had a 21-11 overall record, 14-4 in the Swac. Chattanooga had a 17-14 win overall season and 9-5 in SoCon.
Yeah, Southern Conference.
I was thinking that, dang, why, I'm wondering why Alabama A&M didn't get the bid, and she did inform me that Alabama A&M did place a bid for that particular game, but that they just chose Chattanooga.
Hey, they didn't fire the men's coach at Alabama A&M, did they?
I haven't heard anything.
That's what I'm saying, because I was just wondering.
Why are you saying that, Mr. Ford? Do you think they're going to fire him?
I don't know. I was just wondering. I was just wondering. I didn't know.
Well, that's interesting. I have not heard. Have you heard something?
No, I hadn't heard. I hadn't heard anything.
You got some tea on Alabama A&M.
I'm like you. I know they got a beautiful facility. I saw a virtual on the social on YouTube one day of the facility they got. That thing is gorgeous. That arena is gorgeous.
Gowns. They've got beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns.
Yeah. That thing is gorgeous.
Ain't no way you got top 5 facilities in all of FCS and you ain't winning. Something's got to change.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
So Alabama A&M fell to Chattanooga. An awesome first season, 21 wins in her first season at Alabama A&M. So
I told you, my sister knows Coach Dawn Thornton. Did I tell you that?
Yes.
And she thinks the world of her. She loves Dawn.
So we're going to talk about the Black College Invitational Championship.
Oh yeah.
Johnson C. Smith women win the inaugural Black College Invitational tournament. Claflin wins the men's tournament.
Oh, Claflin won
on the men's side. So the Golden Bulls won over Clark Atlanta.
Okay.
So the Claflin University took down Virginia Union on the men's side. Yeah. So I did start to see like a lot, but it was like late in the game, right? I did start to see like a huge push with Charlotte media, North Carolina media regarding the Black College Invitational. I saw like news articles, posts, and everything about it. So,
hey, Mr. Monk, do you remember Dave Robbins? He was the coach. He was the coach back in the 80s and 90s of Virginia Union. I'm just wondering, is he still with us? Hey, somebody from the CIAA, is Dave Robbins still living? He was the coach up there for many years. I just want to know if he's still with us. His name was Dave Robbins. He was the head coach at Virginia Union's men's
basketball coach. This white man.
Yeah. Is he still living?
Lord, not this white man, Coach Dave. He's from Gastonia.
Miss Simona, he was awesome. He was awesome. He turned out big time player. I just want to know if he's still living.
He's the winningest college basketball coach in Virginia history, best known for leading NCAA Division II power Virginia Union University to 713 victories and 3 NCAA national championships, as well as 14 CIAA titles. His winning percentage at Virginia Union is an excellent .786 in 30 years. What in the hell? How are you over
still living? Does anybody know if he's still living? Can you tell us?
I don't see any. Okay, Coach Robbins, tell him, show him how it's done.
Yeah, he was something else. I remember him. I used to watch his teams on BET. They would be playing against Norfolk State and all them Johnson C. Smith.
Why don't coaches stay? Why don't coaches stay at one school anymore? Why they don't stay?
No, everything. This is microwave society. It's a microwave society. Okay, somebody said still alive. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you. Is that Saint Chasm? Thank you.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah, that's right. George Foreman passed. Yeah, somebody said that George Foreman passed.
Oh yes, that announcement came out yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Okay, yeah, that George Foreman.
So how was did you go to the tournament? How was the tournament?
Which one?
That must have been a good game because somebody in the chat said that Johnson C. Smith trailed most of the game.
And they beat who now? They beat Clark Atlanta, right?
Yeah. That's you, ain't it?
Yeah, that's me. I mean, was the game on television?
I thought it was supposed to be on HBCU Go.
Yeah, that's right. Charles Oakley played at Virginia Union. I used to watch them on BET. I remember that.
Plug it up.
They had a guy at I know you guys remember Ralph Talley. He was at Norfolk State, and they'd be going against Charles Oakley and them. Ralph was a guard. He was from, was it Atlantic City, New Jersey or somewhere? Charles Oakley was from Cleveland,
Oh,
Ohio.
y'all.
Yeah, I remember Ben Wallace. Oh, somebody said, okay, Pop Light Brown said HBCU go. I didn't even know it was on today.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not. So anyway, yeah, that's what I thought it was. Braxton, no, you're doing too much. I need you to go over there. You're doing too much.
You have to charge your stuff.
Right. So let's talk about Sutton and UCLA. You know, I feel like if they were properly seated, I feel like it could be close, kind of like Maryland versus Norfolk game. That was a good game.
Now, who won that game? Who won Maryland versus Norfolk?
Maryland won, but Norfolk was in it, boy. The shots just weren't. The last 3 minutes, they weren't falling for them in their way, and then they was calling a foul. So they had three players that had 4 fouls.
What was the final score?
They had, I think they lost by like 9. So I'll pull up the score. It was so close. Like they just, they was whistle heavy in the first and third quarter, and then they tried to let them play in the second quarter and the fourth quarter. So it ended up being 82-69.
Okay. All right.
So yeah. So I mean, it was a very close game. Like it was way closer than that. It's just towards the end, they were. How those free throws go?
Oh yeah. I see what Tiger Nation, the undefeated Norfolk, played a great game. They are what people say they are. Yes, that was a national article. The girl is named Diamond. The girl at Norfolk State. His name is Diamond.
In the HBCU All-Star game.
Yeah, they've been talking about it a whole week. All the national media has been on her the whole week.
Yeah, they're big on her.
Yeah. I didn't know she had played for Vivian Stringer. She had played a year. She played a year at Rutgers, 2 years at NC State.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Computer. God.
Well, one of the things I've realized today is we need 3 tournaments. We need a tournament for the Power Four, a mid-major tournament, and then we need a HBCU tournament. We need 3 tournaments. We do. We need a tournament just for the Power Four. We need a tournament for the mid-majors, and then a tournament for the HBCUs.
Why you keep breaking it up by so much?
You don't have a choice, because let me tell you something. Listen to me. I watched UConn and Arkansas State. It was obvious UConn has millions, and Arkansas State, which had a decent team, but they're not in the class with UConn. I'm saying again, we need a tournament just for the Power Four. We need a tournament for the mid-majors, and then we need an HBCU tournament.
Then we wouldn't be able to get the $2 million for the men's side.
You can't say that. You never know. You never know.
What do I mean? I never know. You
can't say it.
Even the smaller tournament.
We might not start out with the 2 million, but if we work at it, you there's a possibility you can get it. But I'm just telling you, we need 3 tournaments. I watched that UConn game today. It was UConn girls against Arkansas State girls. Listen, UConn has millions behind them, okay, behind that girls program. That Arkansas State program, they were not in their class. They weren't in their league. And I'm going to say it again.
Jackson State even played UConn closer than that. It's not about that.
I'm just telling you, we need a tournament for the Power Four. We need a tournament for the mid-majors, and we need a tournament for the HBCUs. That's what we
need. When you say it like that, you're basically putting us in a different class than even the mid-majors, and that's not fair.
No, I'm putting us in a class where we belong. I'm sick of this one and done stuff. Let's see when we need. Listen, Get in a tournament with people who spend the same amount of money as you do.
I feel like the WNIT is comparable.
Listen, WNIT probably needs to be that mid-major tournament. And then we need to have our own
It
tournament.
basically is a mid-major tournament.
Yeah, but
For
we
the
need,
most part,
what they
there's a
need to
couple
do
of- there's
is
a couple
take
of
all them
big-
schools from the MEAC and the Swac and put them in a tournament by themselves.
I don't agree with that.
Yes, I'm telling you. That's what we need. And we come up with a black HBCU champion, a true HBCU champion.
With no money attached to it.
Yeah, money can be. Listen, the money. If you make it into a good product, the money will come.
Well, the reason why I say that is because WNIT is a great product. No pool of money. You don't get money. You don't get paid for participating in that. You just get all of your expenses paid. You do not get paid to participate in the WNIT or the WBIT. I want to say the only ones that pay is the actual NCAA tournament. But for smaller programs that are able to get a big run, that's our life-changing money. Like we're gonna get, I want to say almost like $700,000 over the next 5 years, every year. Because Grambling won last year, so we got those 2 million units. And then we got another 2 million units. We're getting a unit for each time that we compete in it and win a game. So that first 4 is bringing in that added money. Mr. Ford, we're going to be in a recession, and a lot of folks' athletic departments are going to be squeezing when we already squeeze tight. We do not have the money, we don't have the infrastructure to not participate in and try to make it to the big dance. And I don't think there's anything wrong with I feel like the tournament that they just had is a great idea. You just have to realize that your schools that have a good season and they get invited to go to the WNIT or the WBIT, they're going to want to be present in those tournaments because they hold more weight and athletes.
Norfolk State should have been in a tournament with Jackson State's girls, with Texas Southern's girls, with Southern girls, and we could have got a true champion. We need a HBCU champion. And I'm telling you, if you make the product good, the money will come.
Norfolk State beat Auburn this year. Norfolk State would have been dragging.
But I'm saying we should have had a tournament. We needed a tournament where we can see Norfolk play Jackson State's girls, Southern girls play Texas Southern girls, so we can have a true HBCU champion.
If you're going to use that as an example, Norfolk State would have drugged them girls. Where the money coming from, Mr. Ford?
I'm telling you, listen. If you refine the product, if you make the product a good product, the money will come. Okay. I'm telling you, it will come.
Okay.
Mommy.
We need our own tournament. And I'm going to say this again. Bro Jerome, I know you on here, but let me say this, Bro Jerome. I watch you.
Oh, Lord, what you calling Brother Jerome out for?
No, he on here. Bro Jerome, I watched UConn today. And I watched Arkansas State. They were a decent team out of the Sun Belt. But they don't belong in the same gym with UConn. UConn has millions behind them. Okay? So there's a difference. We need a tournament just for the Power Four. Then we need a tournament for the mid-majors. Then we need an HBCU tournament. And so you want to come over here and argue with me? Come on, Bro Jerome. Come on up.
Well, they're saying, they kind of do have one of those. It's just only for men. They have the Chris Paul tournament. So basically, Chris Paul needs a women's tournament as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Paul's tournament is in December, but like you got.
No, you keep the one. Listen, like I said, we need to take advantage of that Celebration Bowl crowd. Like I said, we could do some Thursday, Friday night playing, and then we do some Saturday night playing. Then at the end of the season, I'm saying, I would love to see an HBCU tournament. So we can have a true HBCU champion. Yeah, I'd like to see Jackson State go up against Norfolk. Jackson State girls go up against Norfolk girls. Norfolk girls go up against Southern's girls. Norfolk girls go up against Texas Southern's girls.
Okay, well, schedule it. Tell Chris Paul to open up his HBCU Classic, whatever that thing is. Open it up to women too.
Listen, like I said, we got to take advantage of that Celebration Bowl crowd in December, and then we need us a Black College tournament in March.
Well, Mr. Ford, you call Brother Jerome out, and he is here.
Hey, Brother Jerome.
Hey, Mr. Ford, Simone, how y'all doing?
Hey, all right.
Hey, so
Hi, Jerome.
And, partially, I definitely agree with that. Hey, Brother Braxton, how you doing, sir?
Hi. Good.
Hey, so Mr. Ford, I do think there's some truth to what you're saying. I just think there's too much money on the table for the MEAC and the Swac commissioners to take a chance like that, especially when you got really quality teams like a Norfolk State or this season of the Swac, maybe Southern, who should have won the tournament. When you got that amount of talent and good coaching, they're not going to want to risk the chance of, not winning a, first four playing game, or if they get seeded as like maybe a number 15 seed, they could possibly knock off a number 2, because Norfolk's done it before in the past. I just think, number one, if you're going to have a Black college tournament, and let me just say this, I'm not saying this is not what happened in Charlotte. I'm just saying, moving forward for any tournament, number one, ground zero, you got to get the buy-in from all 4 conferences. There has to be some type of contract in place that says, hey, we understand your number 1 teams are going to go to the NCAA, and it's possible that your number 2 teams could, get an invite to the NIT, WNIT, but we expect for your conference to send maybe its second or third place team to this tournament. And that has to be in writing, because that way nothing is going to be nothing's going to be last. It's not going to seem as if the wheels are falling off at the very last minute. So that's ground zero for establishing an HBCU tournament. Once you get that buy-in from all 4 conference commissioners, then you can move forward with securing the corporate sponsors, the partnerships, et cetera, the venue, the date. Right now, I feel like, just from I'm not going to go there. I feel like a HBCU tournament right now should be, to your point, Mr. Ford, maybe start off in Atlanta during the Celebration Bowl weekend, or like the old Freedom Classic here in Charlotte. I think it was during MLK weekend back in the early 2000s, late 90s. Start there. And then with that success, get the buy-in from the conference commissioners to do a postseason tournament. I think that would be a bit more lucrative, and it would be easier to get the buy-in. It's kind of like baby steps. But, if we're going to have an HBCU tournament, the location's got to be right. The type of teams that you're bringing in, they have to have a fan base to put some buttons in the seats. And you got to have the right people at the table who know how to network and secure those relationships with those conferences, with those corporate sponsors, to your point, Mr. Ford and Timona, to where the payout is sexy. We gotta these teams that just played in the tournament in Charlotte. It was stated that each team would get $10,000. When you compare that to the numbers Timona just provided, you're looking at $2 million that is going to be split amongst the conference. I mean, over the course of 4 years, 5 years, that's kind of hard to turn down. So if we're going to have a postseason if we're going to have a postseason tournament, you got to have enough sponsors at the table to make with respect to the payout, to where it's going to be sexy enough to attract these schools. Now, Timona and Mr. Ford, $10,000. I don't know how that compares to the amounts we're getting playing PWIs and out of conference. Like, what would you say is the average amount our teams get for playing like Power 5 schools during out of conference?
I thought they was getting at least $30,000 or $40,000. $40,000.
Because they said winning the first round NCAA was only going to get in the girls 110,000. You were right too, Mr. Mona. Remember you said 100,000? I read this week it's 110.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about out of conference, like when Jackson State came to High Point, they probably got 40 or 50,000.
And that's right? What I was thinking. Yeah. So
because you have to pay for flight, hotel, food.
Correct. And 30 or 40,000 is not going to cost. When you talk about food and the hotel, that's not going to take a big, I guess, chunk out of that 40, 50,000. Now, if it was a marching band or a whole football team, yeah, that's going to take a big chunk out of that. But you're talking about, a basketball team with a roster of maybe, 12 guys and the staff, so you may be looking at 30 people. 40, 50,000 is, you can walk away after expenses, with a nice, little takeaway from that.
Right. And so I think just getting a higher payout obviously is an incentive, right? Because if you know for a fact you can walk away as a second or third team whose time is over, or if you're weighing your options between a WNIT invite, not necessarily because with WNIT they have an automatic qualifier, and then they have teams that are invited at large bids. So if you have an at large bid between the WNIT and the Black College Invitational, but you can win $100,000, and you are only going head to head against two other teams, that might be something that you're more interested in, right? $100,000 prize with everything included, and you only have to play two teams. That's something that's, okay, that sounds like something I'd be interested in. But like you said, that payout has to be higher. The marketing has to be different. You have to have the buy-ins from the commissioners, all of them, MEAC and SWAC.
And what you also got to do, if you're on the board, like if you're on the executive board for any of these proposed postseason tournaments, a part of relationship building, you have to attend some of these regular season games within those conferences that have agreed. You got to attend the conference tournament. You got to show your face. You got to rub elbows, put your brand out there to show, hey, we're in the house. We're here supporting, your schools, your conferences, etc. If you're not doing that, the relationship building, you're not going to get that full buy-in. You're just not. And if you're trying to get the buy-in from conference commissioners, it can't be via a Zoom call. It can't be via a phone call. You're going to have to fly to where these commissioners are located, or you're going to have to fly them to your city where you're trying to host a tournament. That's how you build relationships. But I totally agree. And Mr. Ford, I think you said the NIT that they don't have a payout. You just got to bid. You got to bid to host.
No, WNIT doesn't have a payout.
Okay.
The WNIT, when I looked it up on their website, and they said that they do not actually have like a pay where they pay a prize, but they do cover traveling expenses. So the teams must pay to host games, but they do pay for like traveling expenses. So I mean, it says schools pay $10,000 to host a second round game, or 85% of the first $30,000 made in net revenue. So basically, what they do is they charge a certain amount for you to host a game. So I know they made bread when they played, when North Carolina A&T hosted last year, because it was packed. Texas Southern's game was not packed, and I'm not sure how Howard's game looked on the attendance side.
Isn't that?
But
would you say that's the same formula as the FCS playoffs?
No, because like a first round is like 3,500.
Okay.
To host. It's not that much. Like it's definitely not. It's still the same type of setup, but significantly lower amount that it would cost to host a game. Like I think some of them it's only 3,500. Because I remember Jackson State, we wanted to host, and then we had to go to Memphis.
Yeah, I remember that.
But Texas Southern hosted this year, and Howard hosted as well. So, of course, the benefit is you have to sell it out, though, right? To make a profit,
Right.
Make your money back, you have to pack it. And there wasn't that many people at the Texas Southern game, but I don't know if it was because it was spring break or what.
Yeah.
So, I, Mr. Ford, separating. I understand you want to separate it, but
Yeah, I do.
I feel like it's always a dream for folks, and it's one of those. It's kind of like the FCS playoffs, where you know that the ability for HBCUs to go deep into the FCS playoffs, it's not very likely. That's why we have our own. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Maybe they could get us another celebration bowl for basketball type of thing.
Thank you.
Tournament.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I want. A celebration bowl for basketball in March.
But the money
And all
has
they
to
got
be
to do is bring our commissioners together, put their heads together, bring their staffs together. We do like the people do at Stanford. They got a think tank out there. You bring your brilliant black folks from them black universities, and they can come up with a plan. And I'm guaranteeing you, once they put that plan together, that plan will attract money. We can do that. We got what? How many law schools we got? We got law school at Southern. You got law school at FAM. You got law school at Texas Southern. You got law school at North Carolina Central. We got all these brilliant lawyers. We can't come up with a plan for a tournament. Then we got all
when
these
there's money involved and kickbacks, it's hard. Folks are getting paid for it to stay the status quo, even if it's.
But this is the time when the status quo is being erased. That's what President Trump and them was all about. They saying destroy America as you know it today, which means that we got to make adjustments. That man telling you he gonna destroy this country, and then he gonna offer us a dictatorship or martial law. So what do we have to do in Black America? We got to make adjustments. And that means athletics also. We got to make adjustments. Status quo is out.
Well, Mr. Ford, I can agree with you there. So, would you like to know who the next head coach of? Oh, you want to say something else? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for anyone that's looking to do a postseason HBCU tournament, you have to understand that there are certain schools, and this kind of goes hand in hand with the payout. There are certain schools that are going to bring certain things to the table. And when you're talking about like possibly bringing to your city like a Jackson State or a Southern or South Carolina State, like teams that are either known for having a traveling fan base or they're pretty close to the city, the payouts got to be bigger because that school not only is going to pack out your arena, coliseum, they're going to bring their pep band, they're going to bring their cheerleaders. There's a lot of other things that come along, a lot more value that they bring to the table. So for anyone that may be watching that may want to do an HBCU postseason tournament, you got to keep those variables in mind because the brand of some of these schools is just too big for you to give them the bare minimum. I'll say that.
Yeah, ain't nobody bored.
But I'm sorry, Tamara, go ahead.
I didn't have nothing to say. I agree 1,000%. I agree 1,000%. Mr. Ford,
Uh,
you see that picture on the screen?
hold on. Let me see. Okay, is that Barlow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Reggie.
Allegedly. Y'all
Yeah,
type allegedly in the chat.
yeah, that's what the I saw Football Scoop is saying it, and then I saw some people in the allegedly in the national media saying that Tennessee State is interested in him.
That'll be a
He'd
pretty
be a
good
good
hire.
choice. I know
No,
Reggie.
it's
Reggie would be a good choice.
not turning. Wait a minute. Not interested. It's more than not. It's more than interested.
Has he signed the contract?
He done told them folks at the USFL that he out.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. I think he'd be a good choice.
It says 6 hours ago, Reggie Barlow informed the not USFL, excuse me, XFL defenders that he will be departing from the UFL. Barlow leaves the XFL defenders just 1 week before they kick off their season. Damn! You had to have gotten a job if you decided that he won last year and he was coach of the year. 2023 XFL North Division champs.
He would be a good choice. I'm just, I just hope he brings a quality staff. Now he can recruit now. And the other thing about him
he
is,
did just win on the semi-pro. Would you say
yeah, he can. I remember him when he was a head coach at Alabama State. I remember him. I saw him play. I saw
I
him
think he
play at Alabama State. He played for Coach Markham. I remember him.
I think he may have won a CIAA title at Virginia State too, right?
I think he did. And he's a Super Bowl winner too.
Would you say that this is a lateral move, going from XFL back to 1AA?
No, he making more money at
Uh,
Tennessee State. I
Oh,
guarantee
is
you
it?
he making more money.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the salary he's getting in with the XFL?
We'd have to look it up. I don't know.
It's less than 400,000.
I'll tell you what, I think it's a good move for Tennessee State.
It
Oh,
says
yeah.
a USFL head coach is currently paid an estimated 50,000 to 100,000 per season.
Oh, wow. I make more than that. Well, I make the good gracious. That's wow.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for Tennessee State.
And it says UFL is currently on strike and may not have a season in 2025. That man said, "I am out." He
Yeah.
said, "Let me hang up this whistle and go on up here to Tennessee State." And and another thing, them folks do not be packing out the stadiums either, so he ain't gonna miss no attendance.
No.
They attendance don't. Or do they have good attendance in the UFL? I don't think they do.
No, I don't think so either.
You making more money, and you might not get. I feel like that's the step up. You play in your stadium, I like it. Allegedly, y'all. But let me pull up that article. See, you know who they said? Somebody comment in the chat who they said was going to be the head coach. I told you some of these folks be running out. Mr. Ford, they had some man up there, Jeff Fisher.
Why would Jeff Fisher want that job?
Wasn't he already on staff? I thought he was on.
He was
on
a
staff
consultant for Eddie George.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what them folks said.
So say, well, his son was a defense coordinator, but I'm trying to figure out why would Jeff Fisher want Tennessee State? Why?
I don't know.
Does he
That's
not
what
have
they
any,
were saying.
Yeah, I don't know if he has any other options, but I think Barlow would be a good fit, especially
I think Barlow would be a good. And one of the things he needs to convince them to do is get out of that OVC. That has helped to destroy the relationship between the alums and that football program, being in that OVC for 30-some years, wasting time.
Yeah, and just looking at his coaching style and seeing who Tennessee State plays this year, I know they got A&T home in Nashville, they got Alabama A&M, I think, in Huntsville, and they've got Howard for homecoming. I think he would be a good coach to, for those games.
Oh yeah, he'll do. Like I said, I just want to see who he's gonna bring with him. You know me, Bro Jerome. I love to see who the coordinators are, who the position coaches are.
Yeah,
and then because he can recruit now, and he does a good job of developing players too. I remember him from Alabama State.
So it says that he's had several years of head coaching experience, 8-year run at the helm of his alma mater, 6-year run as head coach at Virginia State. He's a well-established, proven head coach in the HBCU ranks, with an overall winning record in his stints at both Alabama State and Virginia State. So this is good.
Yeah, just hope they get out of that OVC.
Other candidates involved in the TSU search include FBS assistants, former high-level FCS head coaches such as Alcorn State legend Fred McNair. And then it says Brandon Fisher is a key assistant for Georgia at Tennessee State as a coordinator. It just says Fisher, an NFL mainstay with the Titans as well as the Rams franchise. So I don't know. I think they were talking about his son, Jeff Fisher's son.
Yeah,
was being
Brandon Fisher's already gone to Bowling Green with Eddie George. He's already been announced up there.
So, but you know what? It's kind of, how you can go from one hot pan to the bowl of hot steaming soup. What's that saying? Where you go out one fire and into another?
Right.
Because even if the UFL is getting ready to go on strike, Tennessee State is in dire straits financially with their budgets.
Well, they need to make a hire soon to kind of stop the bleeding with, some of those guys going into the portal. I think, if they announce Barlow, that'll provide some confidence, for the current players to stay.
Right.
I
And
like
then the
that
state
hire,
of
though.
Tennessee need to get them their $2 billion.
Right.
Okay, so Mr. Ford, they don't need to be too loud right about now because President will write an executive order that officially absolves all states of any back money owed to HBCUs. So we just need to be real quiet right about now and on the hush hush.
Yeah, because he done already told us he gonna bring back the colored bathroom, didn't he?
Listen, I would just be honest with you. I never had a problem with separate but equal. It's just that they didn't want to make it equal. And when Black folks were thriving, for some reason, folks came in there to mess all of our stuff up. Like, it wasn't enough for us to be separate. You wanted us to be separate, and we said, okay, but when you saw us flourishing, you destroyed it.
Yeah.
Black Wall
That was
Street,
Plessy versus Ferguson.
I don't mind separate but equal. Just make it equal.
You would never have that.
Colored water fountains are next.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's gonna bring back the colored restrooms.
Well, Department of Education is gone. Jerome, how do you think these cuts for research are going to affect HBCU, since a lot of our budgets are, or excuse me, like our professors and funding for research dollars, with the cuts that they're making? How do you think that's going to affect HBCUs in the next 2 to 3 years?
You know, that's a really good question. But what would be advantageous for our research institutions would be to come together, form some type of consortium. I know there's a big HBCU conference here in Charlotte late May, and they normally invite some of the more well-known presidents and chancellors, kind of a think tank to strategize and to network and to form partnerships between the schools. I think that's going to be needed a lot more to kind of get ahead of the game. Right now we just don't know what 45's or excuse me, Trump's plan is, how that's going to look as far as who's going to get the money. I just honestly don't know, but it would be advantageous for us to be proactive. Because to your point, those research dollars fund quite a bit at quite a few of these research schools.
Like, I don't even have an answer. I don't have an answer for how to replace those.
The answer is that the main thing Trump wants to do is he wants to destroy higher education in this country. That's why he's telling these schools like Columbia that he's going to crush them by taking $400 million away from them. And the ultimate aim is to destroy the First Amendment. That is free speech. And as I've said to you earlier, Trump's plan is total chaos and confusion. And once he comes in and destroys America as we know it today, he has an alternative. And the alternative is martial law / dictatorship. That's what it's all about. Because if you're going to have a dictatorship, you can't have freedom of speech. You can't have universities having dissenting views. You can't have that. And that's what they're pushing for. Democracy doesn't work for them anymore. They decided democracy was out. I told you this before, when Obama took them black children into the White House. They were through with democracy then. Democracy don't work for them no more. They want martial law / dictatorship with Trump as the dictator.
We as a whole, outside of HBCUs, Black people as a whole, we need to strategize. And there's a lot of commentary on social media saying, we're just going to chill for the next 4 years. And I get that, not wanting to participate in protests and stuff. But on the back end, while we're chilling, we do need to kind of strategize and build within. Because there's just no the way he's moving and his administration is moving. It will behoove us to really start working amongst each other. If he's looking to bring back segregation in school, I don't know, Mr. Ford, how do you feel about that? Like,
well, we were talking at the school, and some of the teachers were saying that it's really awful what he's doing to the Hispanic community. I had to remind them their greatest hatred is not of the Hispanics. is of the blacks in America. And so they're doing it to the Hispanics right now. But guess who's up next? Blacks in America. Okay. They're going to start black booting our houses soon. Don't wait. Just like the ICE is doing them Hispanics, it's coming to us because their greatest hatred historically in the last 5 years was of black people in America. So that's coming too. Oh, it's coming.
Lord have mercy.
So, Mr. Ford, what do you think we should do? I know you come from a certain era, so I think you have more.
I mean, listen. We got to let the slave master go. Like you said earlier, we got to come together. Now I know that, and I know that there's a certain group among us that's incorrigible. They ain't gonna do nothing right. But among us that want to live a perfect life and want to, do what's right, we got to come together. And we got to let the NCAA go. We got to let Congress go. Because let me tell you something, and I keep telling people this. If you don't understand now that Chuck Schumer and them done sold you out, you dumb as a doorknob. If you don't understand that Hakeem Jeffries and them done sold you out, the reason they keep talking like that, they done took money. Like this lady Gwen what's this? She wrote that book called What's Wrong with White Folks? God, I can't look that up right quick. What's that lady's name? She's out of New York. But what she's saying is that there are people in the Democratic Party who are lockstep and barrel with Trump and have no problem with Trump being dictator. And she said the prime example was, here was this man, Al Green. He's telling you that this man trying to destroy Medicaid, Medicare, and all of these other things that these people have worked for. And then you got members of the Democratic Party that vote to censure that man. Listen.
Joan Walsh?
Her name is, I think it's Joan Walsh. And what's her name?
Joan Walsh.
Yeah, they done told you. You gotta, somebody just put it in this thing. They put it in your chat. They said, we gotta think for ourselves. Bump the Democratic Party. Bump Chuck Schumer. What's his name? Hassan Jeffries and all them people. Listen, the biggest crook and pimp in America today is Al Sharpton. And if you running behind Al Sharpton, you the dumbest Negro in America.
Oh, Lord. That's what I was saying, though. Like, the only problem with it going back to segregation is we don't have anything that we truly own. Like, the liquor stores and the gas stations are not owned by Black people.
But wait a minute, you own something. I just told you earlier. Listen, they said you spend $12 million a day with Target. Listen, they've already told you, if you take the Black people out of America and put them in their own country, you would be the 8th to the 14th richest people in the world. You own something now. You got money. You got discretion, and guess what? You got trillions. You might be misspending it, or you don't know how to spend it, but you got money. You're not poor. Don't let them fool you with that. You ain't poor. How you gonna be poor and you spending $12 million a day with Target? That sound like a poor person to you?
No.
Okay, so you ain't poor. You might not know how to spend your money correctly, but you're not poor. And they done told you, these white people done told you, you take the Black people out of America and put them in their own nation. They the 8th to the 14th richest people in the world. They told you got more money than England and all them other countries. The only thing is England got international trade and you buy dope and prostitution.
Wait a minute. What's going on? Listen, Mr. Ford. You told me in the summer, you said there's a movie you want everybody to watch, and it's called Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it, and I was like, Lord, martial law and everything. I was like, I hope this isn't what it's come to.
Well, and what they was trying to tell you in that movie Civil War is that the war in America is going to be about a class war. Okay? Because what you want, what these people want, what the power structure in America wants is they want a 1% rich class and everybody else poor. They want to totally destroy what we would call an upper middle class or a lower middle class. They don't want that. That was one of the things about America. You know, America had the rich, they had the super rich, the upper middle class, the lower middle class, the working class, the working poor, and then the underclass. Well, what they want now is just the rich and then everybody else is poor. Okay? That's where that war is going to come about. I told you earlier, these people have basically thrown these veterans out with the wash water. You think them people going to take that? What you getting ready to see, you're going to see white people fighting against the government. They're going to resist.
As long as it stays them, because, you know, I'm sorry, we're not picking up we cannot be a part of any of the protesting. That's how you get martial law real quick. When black folks start rioting.
Well, we're going to get more. Listen, it's coming. I tried to say it earlier. These people have made a determination. Democracy don't work for them. They basically said democracy don't work for them. Okay? And you got a zero birth rate with white people. You got blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans having all these babies. So if you're going to depend on voting, listen, you're going to have a whole lot more black presidents. They don't want that. Okay? So democracy for them is out the window. They want martial law / dictatorship with Trump as the dictator. That's what they want.
So basically what you're saying is he's not running. There ain't no third term. This is the book of Revelation, ain't it?
He's probably the last president. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's coming. It's coming. Okay. Basically, Trump has tried to tell these people he don't give a damn about the MAGA crowd. He is a captive or a puppet or a parrot for the billionaire, trillionaire class. What we used to call in economics, the banking families. See, we run around and we say we Democrats and Republicans. Did you know the Rockefellers control both of them parties? Do you know the Rothschilds control both of them parties? Do you think that the Rockefellers care about you saying you a Democrat or a Republican? They give money to both of them. They choke. Listen, when you go to Washington, D.C., they take you back in that back room, and then them lobbyists come in with them suitcases full of money, and they tell them Congress people, you can have this money, but you're going to do what we say. Y'all understand that? Lobbyists run D.C., but the true decision makers are on Wall Street. See,
Trump, what they doing with Wall Street? Listen
to me. Always remember this. Economics trumps politics. The politicians are puppets for the rich families and the multinational corporations. Always understand that. Okay? When we talk about the power in America, is it Trump or is it the Rockefeller family? Who tell who what to do? You tell me. Trump tells the Rockefellers what to do. He wasn't even a king. Listen, Trump wasn't even a king in New York. That nothing lived in Queens. The top people in New York live in Manhattan. They rejected him. Do you know that them people ran him out of New York? That's why he down at Mar-a-Lago. They ran him out of New York.
Well, Mr. Ford, don't get me picked up. Don't have them feds knocking at my door talking about we know too much.
I was sure finna say somebody finna come knocking next. Not just playing.
We know too much.
It's common sense.
Well, the Department of Education is gone. So we'll see what goes next.
Wow.
That's the last standing piece is having education and protection for kids with disabilities and having checks and balances in place. That's what the federal government is for. It's to check the states. The states are now basically uncheckable, meaning there is nothing standing in the way of carrying out all of these different agendas.
Well, the main agenda is democracy doesn't work for them anymore. It doesn't work for them anymore. What they want the martial law, like I said, martial law / dictatorship. That's what they want. The ugly word for them is democracy.
But do we still gotta pay back our student loans? I'm sure those are gonna be kept.
I had to pay mine back. I had to pay mine back.
Why? You've been a teacher all this time. You were supposed to get yours discharged.
Well, that was before. Because remember, I've been teaching a long time. I had to pay mine back.
Apply for it. You should have applied and got some money back. Give me my.
Well, my sister-in-law did. I think on the Biden, when she was getting her master's, they sent her a letter saying it had been forgiven. I had another cousin. She got her doctorate, and they sent her a letter telling her that her debt was forgiven. But that was way before. I got my master's back in the early 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Department of Education is temporarily halted until the federal court stepped in. And it was interesting because a lot of these different public school systems, they already were, just waiting for it to be announced. So in Charlotte, the Mecklenburg County Public Schools highlighted that a huge amount of their budget is funded through, the federal government. It says that it provides 10.9% of the state's budget for public schools and funds more than 14,000 teachers and other educators positions across North Carolina. So this is going to have a ripple effect because teachers are already understaffed at public schools. So now it's going to be, like you said, the dumbing down of public.
Well, that started with the Reagan administration. They put together a lie called A Nation at Risk, and that was done so that they could control the curriculum. They could destroy, because what we had in America was you had the schools that was teaching people how to make money with their hands. Okay. And so they wanted to destroy that, which they did. And they've been dumbing down the curriculum now almost 40 years. That started with President Reagan. Yeah.
It got real bad with President, with No Child Left Behind. That left everybody behind.
Well, the one the one who really helped destroy the middle class in America, and he doesn't get credit for it, was President Bush the son. He took an axe and he really destroyed the American middle class. The American middle class now is a shell of itself. When you look at it maybe 20 or 30 years ago, it's a shell of itself. He did a number on the American middle class. President, that was that Bush Jr.? What was his name?
George W.
Yeah.
George W.
He did a number on the middle class. And the other thing that he did was that many of the technical jobs, especially those IT jobs, he farmed those jobs out to countries like India. That's why I remember we went through the period in the 90s, you'd have a problem with your telephone and you talking to an Indian person, you don't understand what they're saying. That was under him.
They hired a lot of them at HBCUs as professors.
Oh yeah, I went to school under East Indians myself, but I'm just telling you,
a teacher
He really helped to destroy the American middle class. Because that's why people came here from all over the world. Was because you have to understand, America, first of all, had a middle class. Most nations don't have a middle class. The other thing you could do in America, you could own land. In most countries in the world, the government owns all of the land in the country. Now you're seeing a lot of the rich whites, they're getting the dual citizenships. They're getting out of here going to Ireland. They're getting out of here going to Spain. They're getting out of here going to South Africa and other parts of Africa. We even got black people moving to Costa Rica. You got black people moving to Central and South America. Because they know
want to move
ready to
nowhere.
move.
I don't want to move to no.
No, I'm just saying, but you have a number of people that's doing that.
Black people, Europe is just as racist.
Yeah, but they leaving and going over there. Go and check out this guy, Richard Gere. He got out of here, but when they asked him, he claimed he was just wanting to move. Okay, tell some others.
So I need to be trying to go to Canada?
Well, that's up to you. That's up to you.
I like the cold.
That's up to you. But I can say this: he has made Canada our enemy. The Europeans see America as an enemy now. The Canadians, do you not upset the Canadians are? Do you not upset the Mexicans are? This guy has made this country the most hated nation in the world.
We was already the most hated. Let's just get that.
No, not like it is now. No. I'm telling you now, the Europeans see America as an enemy. We're not going to talk about what the Canadians are saying. I don't know if y'all watching them press conferences, what the Canadians are saying.
What are they saying, Mr. Ford?
You haven't been listening to Trudeau and the other guy?
Well, Trudeau is gone now. I know he was.
Yeah, but they got another guy in his place.
They're going to turn our electricity off in Detroit and in New York.
Well, it's four states they provide energy for. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then this whole thing of talking about... But now, the whole thing of talking about Greenland, they're saying that's Putin. That's Putin's influence. That man don't even know how to spell Greenland. That's coming from Putin, that whole thing about Greenland.
So somebody in the chat said, when has democracy ever benefited American people? I don't recall a time that African American people collectively benefited from this American democratic capitalism.
But you did allow a fraction of the population to vote. You did allow them to vote in the local elections. You allowed them to vote in the state elections, in the national election. Even though when it comes to the president, everybody knows the electoral college picks the president. We know that. Okay. I think it was Gore who had more votes.
In our instance, the computer.
Yeah, but see, Gore had more popular votes or more people votes than Bush, but the Electoral College and the Supreme Court made him president. Okay. I think, what's her name? She had more votes than Hillary Clinton had.
Not Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary had more votes, people votes, than the 45th president. However, the Electoral College put him in office. So when you vote on the local level, that's a semblance of democracy. You vote on the state level, that's a semblance of democracy. You vote for the president. What this guy's saying now is, ain't gonna be no more vote. That's his ultimate aim.
Can he get away with that? I mean, given that voting.
Well, here's the thing. Like I keep telling people, we're supposed to be under checks and balances. When the last time Congress checked that man? All this illegal stuff he doing. To be honest with you, I mean, nobody wants to admit it. Listen, to be honest with you, the greatest opposition is a black woman named Jasmine Crockett. That's the greatest opposition he got. That's why I keep telling y'all, that lady gonna need protection and she gonna need money. Because I came home last week and she was blasting them people and blasting them by what Trump was doing. And I told my wife, if she was a black man, they'd kill her.
Mm.
They would kill her. What happened to checks and balances?
And they've been
Why
trying
is it that everything that man wants, that Thomas man and them other Supreme Court justices will go along with? This man has 34 felonies, but you let him run for president. He got more felonies than did it.
Wait a minute. Lord.
Do you think the lack of opposition is caused by fear from Congress, or do you
It's
think
a lot. It's fear. People have taken a bag. A lot of people. Let's go back to what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You come to DC, they take you in that back room, and those people come in. They call themselves lobbyists, and they show you a lot of money. You take the money, but then you belong to them, and that's what we got all over the DC, all over Congress. Those people have taken the bag. Just listen to Hawks. When you listen to Jeffries talk, he's a man that has taken up the money. That's why he's always saying, but the Democrats, nothing he says has any backbone to it. And let me tell you something. One of the people that he fooled was me. When I first heard Hakeem Jeffries, I was so impressed. And now I can't stand to look at him.
He sold you a dream.
Yes, he did. And he sold us out.
And
that's him and all that rest of that crew up there. I'm telling you now, the opposition is a black woman named Jasmine Crockett. Okay? And one of the problems historically we've had in doing is protecting people who speak out like that. And I'm going to say it again. And I told you this. I told my wife one day I came home and she was blasted. I said, if she was a black man, they would kill her.
I think that people aren't, I'm not going to say they're not listening to her, but like they just write her off as just someone who's loud and boisterous. I've seen
but what she says is factual. That's the only difference. What she's saying is factual. See, at no time have they called that lady a liar. Why you won't refute that woman and say she's a liar? Because what she's saying is facts.
The way he's running things, they get ready to do something. Because they keep talking about these judges who are blocking everything that he's doing. So now they're trying to figure out a way to get around it. Because, of course, there's always checks and balances. And there's no way that the Supreme Court is going to be able to hear
let me
all
say
of these different court
DJ 85. We might not be listening to her, but there are some people that are listening. And you're going to see it soon. You'll see that. I think because what you're saying is not factual. Always remember, the pen is mightier than the sword. Yes, there are some people listening because they seeing what not everybody. When you say she has no power, when you speak in facts and you speak in truth, that's power and truth. We might not be listening to her, but there's some people listening.
The only thing that the Democrats can do at this point is reach out to those constituents to apply pressure at the local level.
Keep in mind, many of the Democrats are with President Trump. They have no problem with him being a dictator. That's many of the Democrats.
They have no problem as long as
they have no problem with him being a dictator. They showed you that with that whole app. See, yeah, we got to pay attention to the things that's happening. When this guy tries to tell these people this man is going after Social Security, he's going after Medicare, Medicaid, and then you censure him, but you allow this man with 34 felonies to run for president. You allow this man that told them people to attack the Capitol to run for president. And he actually thanked John Roberts for doing that. That was the Supreme Court. So where your checks and balances at?
Flip the House of Representatives next election in 2 years. They said that the next election is in 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the midterm. It seems like we go in cycles, with these elections, especially around midterms. I going back to that movie Civil War, I think it's to Mr. Ford's point, it might go beyond, your political affiliation. Once you start, I guess turning your back on military veterans, folks who get Medicaid, Medicare, et cetera, it's going to go beyond party lines. And I'm not saying it's going to be anarchy, but I think that's when people are really going to wake up. Because again, the folks who voted for him, they didn't think that he would come after them.
Right.
But now that they're seeing that he is coming after them,
there you go. They've been betrayed.
Yeah.
Because
and that's why black folks is just sitting here looking like,
well, no, see, they thought that he was going to be the Messiah for the MAGA crowd. But he showed them when he brought Elon Musk into that White House, his loyalty is to the billionaire, trillionaire class, not to middle class folks, not to working middle class, to the working class. He showed them, listen, Elon Musk brought his son into the Oval Office and he punked Trump out. Trump had nothing to say. Elon Musk did all the talking. They were trying to show you who running the country. That's what. But I guess we can't interpret it. We can't understand that. I'm gonna say it again. Politicians are puppets of the billionaire, of the billionaire, trillionaire class. When them people come to DC, they buy them off. They get under the control of these lobbyists. Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking, just go back and look at the interview they did with Elon Musk and his little boy. The little boy told Trump, said, I think he told him something, you ain't the president. What did he say? He said something to Trump that was real crazy. And he's 4 years old, so Elon Musk told him that.
Not the little boy disrespecting at 4 years old.
And listen, Trump looked like he looked at the little boy like he wanted to choke him.
Wait, Lord, and them kids kids will say whatever they hear their parents repeat.
He told him. He said something about go away, you ain't the president, or something he said to Trump.
Wait a minute. Oh no.
And Trump looked at him like he wanted to choke him. But you know what? He ain't say nothing. Because his daddy, he know who that boy's dad is.
At this point, Trump literally, he could have really probably cared less about being the president. He just didn't want to go to jail. That was the thing. Like, as long as I don't got to go to jail, I'm good.
Listen, Elon Musk, they say that Elon Musk spent $377 million for Trump to be president. He spent $377 million. $377 million.
So he basically bought the election.
He bought the election.
So
I know that hurricane that randomly hit North Carolina,
right,
took out the western part of North Carolina, and then we utilized the satellite. We used Starlink satellites Very, 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 very suspicious.
And don't
They
forget,
used
Musk wants to cut everybody else's money, but look at all the money he's getting for SpaceX and for Tesla. They said the government gives him $3 billion for them Tesla cars. Look at the money he's getting for SpaceX, but he wants to cut everybody
which is
else's
actually
money.
really weird because historically speaking, Republicans don't like those types of cars. They don't like EV. They don't like
Well, they're giving him $3 billion for them. They're giving him $3 billion for them Tesla cars. They making a lot of these people, these police departments and these sheriff departments drive them Teslas, and them police and sheriffs have told them they don't even like them cars.
He's really trying to roll out the Cybertruck police vehicle. I'm telling you, that's what he really wants to do. Get the contract to sell it as a police vehicle. Let me make sure I said everything. Everything is everything. Norfolk State, Larry Vickers to Auburn. Reggie Barlow, more than likely going to be Tennessee State's head coach. We got spring games coming up today. Today was junior day at Jackson State for Jackson State football program.
Okay.
And I see that Jackson State, Jerome, don't you see that Jackson State is doing a lot of like promoting for this Grambling versus Jackson State game, but I haven't seen that much on Grambling side.
It might
just
be
a miscalculation?
Well, it might be because I believe that game is technically our home game since we went to Grambling last year.
Got it. I got it.
So, Mr. Ford, you going out there, Mr. Ford?
But Jerome, what'd you say?
I said, you going to Vegas with all of us?
No, I'm hoping I see it on television. Now, you think it's going to be televised?
That'd be cool if HBCU picks it up.
Yeah, I hope it's televised.
What you think, tomorrow?
You think it should be HBCU? I was hoping for
Tiffany and Jay Walker.
Nah, I mean,
I was hoping for Shador to go to the Raiders, but they said that Gino is over there with the Raiders. So now
Gino's there.
The Raiders is looking less likely. It's looking like.
What do y'all think Shador going to end up?
My thing is, I still think the Cam Ward kids goes before Shador.
So he's going to the Giants then. You got Ward to the Giants?
I just think he goes before Shador. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, Mr. Mona, you know I've said this. If I had a choice between Cam Ward and Shador,
yes, you've made that abundantly clear.
Yes, give me Cam Ward. That guy's special.
We don't care nothing about that.
That Cam Ward kid is special.
And he get up there and say, "Shout out to Jackson State."
Well, he'll say that somewhere, but I'm just telling you, that Cam Ward kid, I think he's gonna be tough in the league.
Do y'all think, Shador or I know Carolina was kind of bad, so they're probably going to have a high pick too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they just got Bryce Young. They just got a small quarterback. He's so small.
They got who?
Bryce Young.
Oh yeah, Bryce Young. What about him?
I don't think they're going to draft another quarterback. They got Bryce Young.
Oh, okay.
That wouldn't make sense. Just got Bryce.
And Carolina needs a new owner. Y'all need a new owner. That guy's awful.
First off, just because we live in North Carolina don't mean we Panthers fans. Jerome, you a Panthers fan. I don't know if you've been a Panthers fan since.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to be until they did Cam dirty, and then I just
See, a lot of black folks got off the boat when they dogged Cam. Then they bought Cam back, like, and was like, okay, here, save us. It's like, bro, why you didn't bring Cam back during summer camp? Why would you bring him back in the middle of the season thinking he's finna save y'all?
And see what it was, after that Super Bowl run, the previous owner, he started
Jerry
dismantling.
Richardson.
Yeah, he started dismantling all, of Cam's weapons, from the offensive line to the, wide receivers, running back. They just started, getting traded, and he didn't have any protection. And we all black folks, we saw what they were doing. And ultimately, Cam got hurt, and then he had that surgery. So a lot of us just kind of, we just kind of left the Panthers alone for a little bit. But outside of Shador, looking at Travis Hunter, do you think he'll go pretty high to like a decent program? Or Timona, why you laughing?
Travis is top 5 because because somebody in the chat said, Mr. Thornton said, JSU versus North Carolina Central. You know them Eagles beat. Ever since they beat us that one time, they just, they just feel like they just all world. 2025 right. Celebration Bowl, North Carolina Central by 14. And then said, write it down.
Now, who said that?
Mr. Thornton. And then if Shador keeps slipping in the draft, he's going to end up coaching at Tennessee State. Because Dre don't have no filter. Oh, God, help me. And then Dre.
There's been a lot of delusion from the South Carolina State and North Carolina Central people. You got to blame that on Prime. He gave them hope. He gave them faith. But subsequently, the next 2 years, we saw what we did to South Carolina State. Right. So, yeah.
Come over here, baby, and tell us what Braxton's going to tell y'all what we did. Come over here and tell them. Do belts. Go ahead, show them. Belt 2. Yep, that's right. You see that? Belt 2.
And Simona and Mr. Ford, I don't think North Carolina Central coach wants any parts of TC Taylor. I think he knows what TC Taylor is capable of. Because, they used to be on staff together.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, I don't see that.
Well, everybody knows what TC Taylor is.
You're saying Trey don't want it with TC.
Yeah, he don't want that smoke. And to be honest with you, I don't see Trey or what is his name? Dennis Bear. I don't see them
Dennis Bear. Dennis Bear, baby, win the day.
Yeah, I don't see either of them beating Norfolk State. I'm sorry. Like, I honestly think Norfolk is going to run through them here.
Norfolk.
Hey, I tell you what, what's the name's making some good moves. The brother up there, he's making some moves, man.
Where?
Or they lost one of whoever he had hired. They left. So, I don't know.
At Norfolk?
I'm gonna look it up.
One of the coaches?
Oh, Dr. Kanisha said, how? How do you think Norfolk is just going to come in here and take it over?
I'm going to tell you. So what's going to happen is it's going to be the same thing that happened at Jackson State. He's going to get way more talent than the rest of the program. When Prime was at Jackson State, the coaching was very mid, to be honest with you.
Well, the defensive coaching was outstanding. Yeah, the problem was with that offensive line.
The offensive line, special teams, honestly, I feel like we just overall out-talented.
Yeah. But that guy, Dennis, what was his name? He was the defense. That guy was a wizard.
Yeah, I mean, so the defense was good. But when y'all go back and look at the 21 and 22 season, there were some games where those other teams should not have been that close. Hell, even when we played Valley up in Edabina, like, why was that game so close? You got all that talent. I remember when we played, I think, Texas Southern as well in 2021 in Jackson. There were, and even Southern. We played Southern in Baton Rouge in 21. A lot of those games should not have been as close as they were.
Now that was a classic. That game when they brought Dion from the hospital.
Oh yeah,
that was a hard fought game. I remember that game.
It was.
That was a hard fought game.
But with respect to talent and just the coaching, it should not have been that close.
Yeah.
But I do feel it's going to be the same thing that happens at Norfolk State. He's going to get a lot of good talent, especially within the Tidewater area and nationwide. And he's already got a pretty good coaching staff assembled. But I don't see Norfolk losing any MEAC games.
Hey, Ed, Dennis Thurman was a wizard in the Swac, man. Go on and listen. Now, get a man his credit. Dennis Thurman was something else.
That was the Blitz King. Oh,
that guy was good, man. Dennis Thurman was good, man.
Amen.
Now the problem with Dion's staff was offensive. His coordination, the first year the coordination was terrible. The second year got a little better. But that defense he had, those 2 years, that defense was rock solid. That defense was good.
Dr. Tanisha said Norfolk hasn't put an old line together yet, and Howard is coming.
Coming to do what? So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. While problems at Jackson State, like, there were only 2 games that were just complete from top to bottom. That was 21 when we went to Alabama A&M's homecoming. Then 22 when we were in Miami and played FAMU. To be honest, every game should have been those 2 games, from defense, offense, special teams. But just the coaching, it was just way too inconsistent. But I just think Norfolk, they've got the brand, they've got the fan base, they've got the marching band, they've got the notoriety right now. I don't see anybody beating them in the game.
Hey,
I don't see nobody.
This guy's name is Ladarius, right? Is this Ladarius?
Yes.
Ladarius. I saw Greg play at Florida A&M. Now, let me tell you, Vince used to kick field goals for FAM, but he was a better baseball player. I saw both of them. They're from Jacksonville.
Well, listen, all I know is I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again. Win, and TC Taylor is undefeated in get-back games. I don't know if y'all know that, but he's undefeated in get-back games. South Carolina State, it was belt to ass for MEAC Swac Challenge, and then we whooped up on your asses again in the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah, TC's the man. Like I said, ground zero for HBCU footballers, Jackson, Mississippi. I don't know if that's going to be changing anytime soon. It's ground zero for HBCU football. It's the year of the Tigers, baby.
Year of the
Tigers.
And I ain't talking about Grambling.
No, we ain't talking about my homeboys. We talking about them Jackson State Tigers.
Them blue Bengal Tigers.
Them blue Bengal Tigers.
Dre said,
I forgot to tell you, I listened to Mr. Moan, I listened to Perry this morning. Perry had on Mark Fredericks. I listened to him this morning. And later on, I listened to my other man. He had on Terrence Graves today. Carlos Brown. I listened to Carlos today.
Oh, he had on Coach Graves. Yeah, Coach Graves was at.
Yeah, Coach Graves was on Carlos Brown's show today. Yeah, he was on. And Mark Fredericks was on Perry's show.
And he said, "Oh, you Jackson State," and he did not come to my table.
Who was that?
Coach Graves.
Oh, Terrence. Oh, that was a good man.
Yeah. So, OU Jackson State. He did not come
Hey,
to my
that ain't
table.
Timon, that ain't nothing. A couple of years back, I ran into Big Worm at the Aggie Eagle. I want to say this was like 2018, and I was up there. I had my Jackson State apparel, and I was there with a couple other buddies from Swac. And I said, "Hey, I said, Coach O, can I get a photo?" He was like, "Yeah." Then he looked down at my shirt. He said, "Man, you gonna get your ass out." We were all laughing. He was so serious, but it's all good.
Yes.
Don't take it
Serious.
personal.
I'm waiting to see I'm waiting to see his next job because I like Coach Odoms, man.
He ain't been picked up nowhere.
I'm trying to hear about him. I'm trying to hear somebody. I've been asking people, have they heard anything about
Maynard?
Cornell Maynard?
Yeah,
Where's
where he at?
Maynard?
I'm surprised he ain't been picked up at A&T yet.
He might be picked up with Tennessee State with Reggie Barlow, right?
Yeah, he could be because I think he'd be a great offensive coordinator.
I was just gonna say, Dooley looking for offense. Dooley he could be the offensive coordinator, Mr. Ford, at Tennessee State.
No,
do y'all see?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Barlow gets people outside of the SWAC.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get people outside of the SWAC. I'm waiting to see his staff. You know that.
Let me ask y'all this because I know we got Hampton coming to Jackson. What do they look like?
I saw them a couple of times last year. They would have been hell in the MEAC last year. They would have been tough. I've always liked that quarterback. They got this dual threat quarterback. He's been starting now 2 or 3 years. Actually, they played 2 quarterbacks last year. But it's one guy, he's been a starter like 2 or 3 years. I don't think they'll be able to stay with.
I'm not worried.
No, I don't think they'll be able to stay with Jackson. But like I said, they would have been tough in that MEAC last year. I've watched them. You know, they play that game with Howard University every year at Audi Field. I've seen that game now at least 2 years, maybe 3. And I think they won every one of them.
How would they beat them folk yet?
No, Howard ain't beat Hampton.
Dr. Kanisha, y'all ain't beat them folk yet.
No, they have not beat. They ain't beat Hampton now. No, they have not beat Hampton. I know they haven't beat them in the last 2 years, maybe the last 3. Because I like that venue when they play at that Audi Field. That's a nice venue.
So you saying they're not the real HU?
Now, the real HU in football been Hampton, not Howard.
He said JSU not ready for Hampton. Get ready to walk the plank.
Who said that?
MEAC Pirate in the chat telling us we need to get ready to walk the plank.
Man, please.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Simona, that's a home and home, man. We go to them in 26.
Oh, y'all do?
I think so.
I thought we was going to Chicago. I thought they was going to have it fixed by then.
Man, let me shut up.
I thought it was a one and done situation, but if it's a home and home, that's what's up.
Yeah, I thought originally it was going to be in Chicago because I thought that would be a nice game in Chicago. I thought that was going to be a really big game in Chicago.
Howard ain't beat Hampton in about 3 years.
Hampton got the real. It's been 3 years.
Let me see the real HU. Y'all better stand up now. Oh, you have a way too early. Go ahead, Mr. Ford. Way too early prediction for top 3 in the MEAC. Norfolk 1. Who you got at number 2?
South Carolina State.
Oh, South Carolina State.
Yeah, and then probably it's time for that Damon Wilson guy to have a big season. It's time for him.
Talking about that Morgan?
Who was that?
Yeah,
Morgan State.
it's time for Morgan to come out now. Now they've been mediocre. I think they've been 500 ball. It's time for them to be a threat for the BAC championship.
Damn, you ain't even got North Carolina Central in top 3.
I should.
Y'all listen in the
just,
chat. Y'all listen
it's
in the
time
chat.
for listen. It's time for Morgan State to break out. It's time for them to come on out now. They brought
I
in a
don't think
big-time
so,
recruiting
Mr. Ford. I
class.
think
Yeah, that guy Damon Wilson. It's time for him to come on out. It's time for him to make his mark in the. They always play good defense, but it's time for that offense to emerge.
Mr. Ford, do you think their president
up with
is
their offensive side.
is serious about football,
Yes.
or is he just?
Oh no,
I know
yes, they are.
He's a
Yeah,
Tuskegee
they're
guy.
serious about football. Yeah, yes, they are. Yeah, they made
Well, what's going on with
a
the
commitment.
offense? That 2-3 years they've had a lights out defense, and then the lights out defense wasn't even that lights out because South Carolina
Well,
State.
he was trying. One of the things
like
that he came to Morgan with the idea that he was not going to utilize the transfer portal. He has since then, especially this year, he's changed that philosophy. They went after some portal people. They've gone after some portal people.
Allegedly, I don't know. Allegedly, Odom is hired. Who is saying this? They said
Well,
allegedly.
Odom is a graduate of North Carolina Central, isn't it?
Well, it says allegedly that he was hired by North Carolina Central staff. Allegedly, Trey Oliver hired him.
Yeah. They were teammates. Weren't they teammates?
I don't know.
Yeah. They were teammates at Central. I think they played for Larry Little.
All right, who's your top 3 in the SWAC East? You know, Jackson State,
It's Jackson.
and Alabama State.
All that matters
you go Alabama A&M, ain't it?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter in the East because it's Jackson. It's Jackson. That's all we need to win. The SWAC West is going to be the interesting one because I still say that guy at Prairie View is going to take over the West.
I know he got a lot of sound bites. He loved talking.
That dude, man, I'm gonna tell you, if he don't get him this year, he gonna take over. You'll see. That guy's gonna take over, man.
Yeah, I think Tremaine Jackson.
Tremaine Jackson. If he don't get him this year, he'll take over. You just wait. He's got a mandate from the president. He's got to take over. That lady told him what she wants. She wants a championship football team in football. She's already told him that. She's made it clear.
Well, listen. You got to have the NILs in place. It's not enough to have nice facilities.
Say what now?
You have to have the NIL in place, the correct type of coaching.
Oh, yeah.
Training table. See, when you say folks are serious, I'd be like, how serious are they? Do they have a training table? Do you know if any other HBCU programs have the training table, Jerome, aside from Jackson State? Has anybody else?
Fam, you got that. Now, why you trying to act like that? Fam, you got it. Prairie View got it. Southern's probably got it.
Fam, you got a training table.
Fam, you got a training table.
I ain't heard that before.
Are you asking people? You friends with them? They'll tell you.
I ain't friends with no snakes.
Yes, you
snakes
are.
Snakes aren't friends. They bite.
Yes, you are. They like you. I thought one time they probably hired you as the person to do the coaching show.
Listen, I've never heard of FAMU having a training table. So
FAMU has a training table. Southern has a training table. You know that Prairie View has one. I'm quite sure Grambling has a training table.
said a training table ain't nothing but Sam Club snacks.
Oh shit, man, please.
It is not. It is an extra meal and Sam's Club
Yes,
snacks.
it is, baby. You know they got it at.
It don't take much, Dre. It does not take much to have a training table. But the question is, what other football programs have a training table? I bet you Norfolk State will have one. What you want to bet?
Oh yes, they are. They made a
bet you
commitment to.
Norfolk State will have a training table.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
They was over there trying to get muscle milk.
They got. Okay, Vic got a $400,000 salary base, and that basketball coach has more than that. They have committed some money to athletics. No, I'm talking about Jones.
Oh,
the men's coach.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Ford, some other, Norfolk State student athletic fees, man, it's pretty high. Do y'all think that's why?
Coach, Miss Wynn said that we have one. We have a training table. See, Norfolk State not playing.
Listen, Norfolk State is that president and AD. They want championship program, and they basically gonna give Vic whatever he needs. They're gonna give him whatever he needs.
Jake said Grambling barely got a table.
Listen, Grambling got a training table. Y'all can go on with that. Who is that? DJ 85. Grambling got a training table.
No, they do not, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. I bet you Grambling got one. Grambling got a training table.
Oh my God, Dre needs to be put in timeout. Oh, God, have mercy on my soul. Why did he say that? Mr.
Grambling got a training table.
That means that there is no excuse for these young men. None. We need to see some elevation in the Swac.
Yeah, baby. Listen, the Swac is hot, y'all. Y'all can say what y'all wanna. I mean, the Swac, man. Listen, I'm gonna say this again. We in a golden era. We in a golden era. Y'all, one while y'all try to give all the credit to Dion. Yeah, but anyway, we in a golden era. He gone and we still in a golden era.
Nobody's trying to give credit to Dion.
Yes, y'all did. Y'all tried to give. I remember one while they were saying, the Swac is, everybody's looking at Swac now because Coach Prime is at Jackson.
No, because Dion went to Colorado.
And listen, we still going through a golden era.
No, not Colorado. Folks that was bigging up Dion was talking about how they serve steaks and they serve this at the white colleges and they serve that at the white colleges.
And he even told that lie that there was no crime out there. Do you remember that? He told a lie and said that no crime. They said that the Boulder, Denver area is one of the top areas for sex trafficking of children. But let Dion tell it, there was no crime in the Boulder area.
I got a lot of mass shootings too.
Yeah.
Wait, say it again, Mr. Ford.
Remember Dion when he went to Boulder, he said there was no crime in Boulder? A report came out and said that Denver Boulder area is one of the top areas for sex trafficking of children.
All I know is their library had so much drugs in it, they had to shut it down and fumigate it.
Wow.
There was so much drugs in the.
And if he loved it so much, why he trying to leave?
Wait,
if Boulder was so perfect, why is he trying to leave? Because he's trying to leave.
He's trying to leave?
Yes.
I ain't heard that.
I'll tell you what, you'll see. He'll probably do one more year. He's trying to get out of there. He don't want to be up there. He want to do what he always did, live through his children.
Well, I hope and pray that you think Shiloh getting drafted or he'll get
no, he'll play like you said earlier. He'll play in that league. Rock, I call it Rocks League, but it's actually what the USF. What do you call it? USFL.
XFL.
Yeah, that's where he'll go. But now always remember, somebody might owe Dion a favor. The favorite might cash in his chips and they can get him on a team. Thank you, Mr. Little. UFL. UFL. Okay, thank you. And I want to say this too. You know, they played shallow over that boy, John Huggins. He was not better than John Huggins. They played him over John, but John was better than him. You remember him, John Huggins?
Yep. I remember.
John Huggins was better than Shiloh.
Mr. Four, they said you own one in the chat tonight.
What happened? What did I do? What happened?
And you just being yourself. You just being yourself, just talking.
Oh, okay.
I said you just being yourself, just talking. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll try to get him on. The golf coach for Jackson State is doing a fundraiser.
What's his name? What's the golf coach's name?
I want to say his name is Coach Ford.
What's his first name?
Ford. Rob Ford.
Is he a graduate of Jackson?
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in the chat.
Hey, did he play for the legendary golf coach at Jackson? His brother was Walter Payton.
Yeah, Eddie Payton.
Eddie Payton. Did he play for Eddie?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that was Eddie was great.
Our only coach. But
Eddie was great.
I was gonna try to bring him on tonight, but
I think he'll have a lot of success.
I'm gonna copy him.
There's been quite a few LPGA and PGA Tigers or alums that came out of Coach Payton.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah. He used to recruit. We have a high school here called Mays High School. He used to recruit a lot of golfers out of Mays High School, and they would do well at Jackson. I mean, men and women.
Well, they're doing a fundraiser to raise $5,000. Basically, it goes towards. Let me see what it goes towards before I go over here lying. I was about to say NIL. They're raising for cutting edge training technology, travel expenses, equipment necessary for success on the course, travel funds, training technology, and equipment. So basically, they're doing a fundraiser. They've raised $410 so far. So if you could click the link that I copied and pasted. Let me see. I'm gonna copy and paste the FundSmart or the raise 6365, and you can make a donation. Maybe I'll be able to bring him on next week, maybe, so we can talk about the program. Do you have any questions, Mr. Ford, for the golf coach, so I could ask him? Because sometimes you be coming on late, or sometimes you don't be coming on at all. You got some questions for the golf coach, Mr. Ford?
You know, I'd like to know, what are the things that he needs to be a national champion? In his opinion, what are the things he needs to be the best program in the country? Of course, you want to ask him that, because all coaches have needs.
I think it's also important to acknowledge the history of Jackson State's golf program.
Oh yeah, it's been outstanding for years. I kept up with Eddie Payton while he was coaching the golf team. They were winning big time.
Goodness gracious, we ran through the Swac for decades.
Many years. Yeah.
No, it was for decades, wasn't it?
It was 23 consecutive.
What is Eddie Payton doing now?
Probably just retired, right?
Okay, is he in Jackson?
Yeah, I believe he's in Jackson.
Okay, yeah.
I will say this,
Where is Eddie Payton?
you know, Timona, I would ask him is if he's open to like just regular students learning how to play golf. And I say that because just from a professional standpoint, like if you're in certain spaces, you decide to be like an entrepreneur or get into corporate America, knowing how to play golf is a very good skill set.
Yes, deals are made at the Masters. No,
They're
seriously.
definitely made on the golf course.
Lord, he need to be blocked or in timeout or what? I don't know what his deal is, but
Johnny, that was ignorant, mind you. That was real ignorant.
yeah, that
I
was
can't
not.
see the track. What was the
He said, "Is Jackson State so broke that y'all need to fundraise to get 5K?" This is just extra money. As you can see, Jackson State's always flourishing. Dre, he's not.
I can't stand this man.
Dre, he's not from FAMU. He's from North Carolina Central.
Wait, didn't Central get rid of their baseball program because they couldn't afford it?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Oh wow.
I didn't understand that. I don't understand this MEAC programs not having a baseball team.
Program did
I
they
don't
get
understand.
rid of?
Listen,
I remember when they got rid of it.
the call is always coming from inside the house.
I mean, it always is. When there's one finger pointing at somebody, there's about 3 pointing back at you. That's why you
I
should
don't understand
mind your
that.
business.
As bad as we need baseball, I can't understand why these MEAC schools don't have baseball teams. Yeah, Ladarius. Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
will say this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you talking about Bama State FAMU rivalry?
Yeah,
in the
I remember
SIAC?
that. That was back in the day.
Well,
I remember.
Alabama State gonna up on FAMU. When is they gonna get over that hump?
Who is that?
Forget trying to beat Jackson State. You're not doing that no more. When is
Well,
Alabama State gonna
supposedly
beat
that
FAMU?
new what's that kid's name? The kid from Texas Southern. That's supposed to be his job. What's his name?
May I say something?
Uh-huh.
I just think it's very going back to North Carolina Central. I just think it's very interesting here on the East Coast, the amount of vitriol and hate that comes from these alums from these East Coast HBCUs. You don't have a fan base.
Pseudo, ain't they pseudo, Jerome?
Pseudo, very pseudo. I mean, the stadiums, they look like middle school stadiums. The bands are horrible. The atmosphere is very wine and cheese. I don't get the amount of hate and shade and shots that are thrown at the likes of the Jackson State. It's just stop. Like,
and by the way, where's that guy Dave from A&T? You know, the competitive. Where is he?
Somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Was he a POW somewhere? And where's Mr. Campbell?
Oh my God.
Where's Mr. Campbell?
Look.
I got the giggles today, y'all, because I know what Mr. Ford is about to say. Everybody in the chat, what is Mr. Ford about to say after he asked about Dave? Mr. Ford, what you want to say about
Competitive? When you
No, not that. Not that. The other thing.
Where's Mr. Campbell? Is he on them other stations now? You don't come to I thought he was helping sponsor you.
Sponsor me? Do what?
I thought he helped you sponsor your show.
Nah.
Mr. Ford.
What's up, Brax?
Once Jackson State started winning, he just
What's up?
I was gonna say, what happened to Mr. Campbell? What happened to Dave? Because Dave would be on here, but A&T, you know, they're going to beat the color schools.
Yeah, they
Beat
He
the
was
color schools.
okay. Let's just make it clear. Dave was not the one that said beat the blacks. That was A&T Roy. North Carolina
Oh,
A&T
okay.
Roy said beat the blacks.
Nah,
Dave
I remember
said
it was Dave. I remember that was Dave.
it was Dave did not say they were going to beat all the blacks. He would
He
never
did,
say
and
I
then
thought he said that. I thought he said we're going to
he
beat the
did.
color schools.
He did, and then Roy co-signed him. I remember that.
No, Dave did not say that. He would
I'm
never
gonna
be
go
that
back and find that
condescending.
show. I'm gonna find that show and I'm gonna clip it.
It was A&T Roy that said we're going to beat all the blacks.
Right.
Look, Dre said, regardless who said it, they lied.
Yes, they did, baby. 2
What
wins in 2
happened?
years, right? In A&T, 2 wins in 2 years.
Mr. Ford, what do you think about 2 wins in 2 years?
Somebody put
That's
a root
what
on
you
it.
call it, belt. Do you know what?
Ass.
That's what that is. Yeah, where's Mr. Campbell? Ooh, what happened to him?
I thought he had a show.
I did see him. I thought, but he used to always come on your show and talk.
Here's the thing, Mr. Ford. If your school got whooped by Jackson State after getting scammed by somebody with no teeth, would you try to come on anybody's show?
So what are you embarrassed?
I mean, I would delete all my social medias. Man. It's that Jackson State effect, though, for real.
Yeah,
That's why we don't listen to people no more. They don't come on these channels no more.
I'm serious. What happened to Mr. Campbell? What happened to Dave?
They
Because
got
you know, Dave was that's Doc's friend.
But look, Mr. Campbell, they turned around and got put out by Jackson State in the Swac tournament too. Come on. Then they
Hey,
top ball
Mr.
team lost to
Campbell, we
Jackson State.
miss you. Come on back. We miss you.
Mr. Ford, cut that out.
Dre, stop. Please stop.
I can't take it with Mr. Ford and Dre on here. Dre done said North Carolina A&T left the MEAC to go to the playoffs. Now them niggas can't even win the spring game.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be real, y'all. I've never seen an HBCU fall from grace, like a program fall so hard so fast. Like
You
it's
talking about A&T?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, man. I was, but now you got to remember, A&T actually has 4 victories in the Celebration Bowl.
I mean, that was like 10 years ago.
And he gonna let you know it every time you say something slick about A&T. He gonna let you know we got 4 Celebration Bowls, so catch up.
They beat Alcorn 3 times, and they beat Grambling. And then just when they needed,
and they will not schedule a game with us. They will schedule a game with Hampton. They'll schedule a game with Howard. They'll schedule a game with North Carolina Central. They'll schedule a game with Winston-Salem State. They will not schedule a game with Jackson State.
Dang.
I want to hear nothing about no pre-COVID.
So A&T doesn't play Howard anymore, right? Because that used to be a big rivalry when I was in college.
I thought they was gonna get that one going.
That used to be a big rivalry. A&T versus see, when I was in college, A&T would come to DC. They would play in RFK.
Y'all see my hands, right? I'm not putting the comments up there. That's not me.
Yeah, that was a big rivalry. A&T versus Howard University. That would be Howard University's homecoming.
They said that they're not into playing the blacks. They have to play schools so that they can maximize their strength of schedule.
So they get beat to death.
If I were these HBCUs up here, like Winston, South Carolina State, whomever, I wouldn't even schedule A&T. Just let them suffer. Because you know
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're using them to put butts in the seats.
Yeah. That was Chancellor Martin, and I told you that other guy was named Earl Hilton. Chancellor Martin was the president, Earl Hilton was the AD, and they were the one who made that decision and pulled them out of the MEAC.
I would say what I found out. It was
Dr.
actually
Tanisha says that the MEAC needs a new commissioner.
Well, I agree with that. I've always said that.
well, Mr. Ford, from what I found out, it was actually Chancellor Martin. It wasn't Earl whose idea that was. He was basically following Dr. Harvey over there at Hampton.
Yeah, Slick Harvey. He was following Slick. Is Slick still in Hampton? Where is he now?
I think he is still in Hampton.
Slick Harvey? Is that his name or is that his nickname?
No, his nickname was Slick. His name was Dr. William Harvey. He was a graduate of Talladega, I think it was.
Yeah, Talladega.
Talladega, yeah. Yeah, he's a multimillionaire. He's friends with the Bushes. He has a major Pepsi distributorship in Michigan or somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's Illinois, yeah.
Illinois, yeah, he's a multimillionaire. Republican.
North Carolina Central is one of their biggest rivals. Winston-Salem State is one of their biggest rivals.
Well, listen,
And
North Carolina Central put 66 points on them last year in football. Trey Oliver.
He didn't have to do them like that, did he? 66 points?
Yes, he did. He put 66, and I think Chennisberry put 50 on them.
Yeah, they blew them out too.
Yeah, so they couldn't beat the colored schools.
They barely beat Winston. They beat Winston in overtime.
Yeah, they didn't beat the colored schools.
But they have a new head coach now, Sean Gibbs. And
Sean is good. I saw him at Fort Valley. He's good.
Restore the glory of old.
Well, they better run back to the MEAC then.
There's folks who, on every turn and every whim, they're saying that they want to leave the MEAC because of the infrastructure and the way things are handled. MEAC tournament needs to relocate.
To where? Because it failed in Raleigh.
DC or Baltimore? I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say DC is very expensive, isn't it?
It is.
They don't have any other venues in Norfolk that they can go to aside from this roller rink?
Like I said, what about Richmond? Would they consider Richmond?
I think they tried Richmond. Either them
they
or
did?
Yeah.
Tricky to try to change it, and there's already such a good base.
What about that area up there in North Carolina called the Triangle area? That Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Durham.
Yeah, they tried it in Raleigh.
They did?
It was like 2011, maybe 2012.
And it didn't work out?
Nah. I mean, they were banking on Central winning, to kind of carry the attendance, or even A&T, but they would get put out. So it was typically, I want to say it was like Norfolk State, Morgan. I think FAMU won it. They lucked up and won it 1 year. But yeah, it just didn't work in Raleigh.
Oh, it didn't work.
Yeah, I would try to either upgrade the facilities or move it.
You talking about the arena in Raleigh?
They're saying that they're saying that in Norfolk the facilities are not up to par in terms of like the floor being wet for the tournament.
Yeah, you're talking about,
but it's already built and established.
I think it also holds the hockey team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're saying that the floor is wet or something like that, and they're screaming that it needs to be a change of venue. And they're also screaming about how they are catering to a certain demographic, that they don't cater to the younger demographic.
Mm.
And I'm just like, well, if I'm the MEAC, I'm going to cater to the most stable demographic. I'm not going to cater to people who come when they feel like it, or don't come because they don't feel like it, or if they don't like something, they're not coming. I'm going to cater to the stable demographic that brings in stable income or stable attendance. Why would
Facts.
I can understand adding something there for you or figuring out a way to cater to you in that area, but as far as changing a whole venue just to appease a fan base that hasn't even shown up or is like wishy-washy on whether or not they want to show up, why would I change all of that just to please you and you might still not show up?
And see, Tomoto, that's the thing about, those former CIAA alums from Norfolk and even Central, et cetera. When the CIAA was in Raleigh and the first maybe 5 to 8 years it was in Charlotte, those alums, to your point, they showed up to the games. They
Yes,
didn't
they
really care
did.
about they didn't really care about the
They
parties
did.
and all that. They faithfully showed up even if their school got put out, they still showed up.
Yeah,
So
Right.
when you look at
yeah,
that MEAC tournament at the Norfolk Scope, it definitely helps that Norfolk's men's and women's teams are winning because they're carrying the attendance.
yeah.
But I feel like even if they did get put out, they would still, carry the attendance because they have a lot of older alums that support.
Now, Brother Jerome, do you remember when it used to be in Winston-Salem?
I do.
Yeah, I used to come to the ones in Winston-Salem. I thought they were there too.
They were. And,
Yeah,
the reason they left because it basically just outgrew Winston. And
right,
they moved it to Raleigh and it just kind of blew up. And then it outgrew Raleigh and, they moved to Charlotte.
right. Oh, yeah.
So Dr. Kanisha says Norfolk doesn't work. It's an ice rink. And it's
Well,
hard
hey,
to
what
get
about
to.
Greensboro, North Carolina?
Why are you trying to? There's nothing.
There's nothing what?
I want to say didn't the MEAC try Greensboro? Or maybe that was a Seattle. I thought there was a tournament there.
There's
But
nothing here.
yeah, I mean, even A&T is not there. Like if they moved it to Greensboro, I would hope
Anthony
A&T
is
would.
here, and there's still nothing there.
No, I'm talking
You got
about as far as like
Omaha.
A&T being in the MEAC. So like if A&T moved back to the MEAC, I would be in favor of it going to Greensboro.
Right.
But there's not a. So I know you said there's probably nothing there. Comparing Greensboro to Norfolk from a nightlife standpoint, I mean,
I think everything. Maybe it's just because I'm an old head. I think everything shuts down early.
it
I
does,
haven't seen it in Greensboro. I don't even. I go out in Charlotte. There's stuff
right?
to do in Charlotte. But there's nothing to do over here in terms of whatever it is that they're seeking. Now I can understand changing it up, but I would be taking a poll. Like, I don't know if they have the email addresses to all of the faithful folks that go to the tournament to figure out what it is that you don't want to ostracize your main base
Right.
that comes all the time to appease a new base or the added base, right? You want to try to do both. So that's what I think that CIAA has done in Baltimore with the CIAA tournament. They've been able to cater to the main base, which are the people who actually go to the tournaments, but they've also involved the community and made it welcoming. But folks still want to bring it to Charlotte for some reason. And I'm not really understanding why. You
I
have
think
such a
because probably Charlotte has the alumni base to help carry the tournament. Charlotte's like another Atlanta or DC. It's about
But they
54.
wasn't never coming to the tournaments when CIAA was going on. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I want to say like 80% of the people that were coming from out of town were like, you would have celebrities coming here, and there would be like people coming from all over. You don't need to show off that you were sneaking and eating candy. They weren't even going to the game.
It got like that towards the end. But prior, like for anybody that was in Charlotte, like when it moved in 2007, I think, up until maybe 2014 or 15, a lot of people were definitely going to the game. For the last couple of years, I went to the championship game the last year it was in Charlotte.
Yeah.
It was a bad look. Yeah, there was probably 500 people in attendance.
Hey, listen, Mr. Mona broke Jerome. I got to turn it in.
Wait. You have one more question, and then you can go.
Okay, what did they say?
Okay, so Uncle Luke asked. Oh, he didn't ask. He made a statement, and I wanted your thoughts on this.
What did he say?
He said that head coach Willie Simmons didn't check in.
Didn't check in?
Yeah, didn't check in, and all the head coaches that come through Florida, that they check in with him, and he didn't do
Oh, you
that.
mean Two Live Crew, Uncle Luke?
Yeah.
I thought they had a previous relationship. I thought they already knew each other.
He said that Mario Cristobal checked in, and that the former FAU coach checked in with him.
Were you talking about Willie Taggart?
Right. Well, I'm not going to say that it was actually Willie Taggart, but he just posted something real negative about him.
About
he
Willie?
said Willie Simmons broke he said Willie Simmons broke the tradition of FIU football practicing at Hadley Park. F it, I'm down with FAU football. And then Uncle Luke said that, let me tell you how it go. When you check into a real Negro city, you're supposed to check in, and you didn't. This is what he's saying. So we just wanted your thoughts on.
I'm surprised. I had stories of, Luke would always bring I think he was coaching high school football. He would always bring them up to FAM. He would take them on like a HBCU tour, and they would go to the different camp. I thought that he and Willie Simmons were down. I thought they were like partners. I'm shocked. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm shocked.
Yeah, he just basically said that when Mario Cristobal came back here, he checked in. We had to sit down over Cuban coffee. When the last FIU head coach took the job, he checked in and asked me to get Pitbull to make a large donation and his name on the stadium. You do know that my artist made that happen. Every FAU football coach check in, including the new one there now. That's G shit from a G. Good luck on your season. Wait a minute. It sounded like he didn't check in with him, and he didn't like that.
Yeah, I guess not. But let me say this. Regardless of him checking in or not, I think Willie gonna win down there. Because I don't think FIU is Willie's last stop. I think Willie's gonna win down there. Because I'm a fan of Willie Simmons now. I know that'll be worked out though. That'll be worked out.
Well, not on social media. Telling a grown man he needs to check in with you or else.
And a grown old man, because Luke got age on him too now. He know better than that. Stop airing dirty laundry. Listen, Mr. Mona.
Have a good night, Mr. Ford.
When you coming back on? When you coming back on?
Probably Thursday.
Okay. All right.
unless this other coach leaves, then I'll be back as soon as that happens.
Okay, so we talking Monday or Tuesday?
Whenever they drop the news.
Okay.
Whenever they drop the news. If you hear it through the grapevine, just
I got something to say.
And by the way, where is right there? The one you just played from Alcorn, G. Y'all heard from G lately?
Alcorn been losing their ass. I'm not surprised. They done lost their football
I ain't heard from G, and I don't know when.
Lost their basketball coach. They lost in they just been losing.
Yeah, I ain't heard from G, and I don't know when.
No, I think he had a live
Miss,
the other night because
Bro, Jerome, y'all be good now.
Busty left.
Huh? Yeah, no, yeah, but okay, have a good one now.
I'm a sport.
Okay, all right.
Well,
Tamona, did you see any videos of the St. Patrick's Day parade in Jackson?
Mr. JTV videos himself. Are they uploaded
Okay.
yet, Jay?
It just uploaded like 9 minutes ago.
All right, y'all. So tap in. JTV videos. Drop your link in the chat. Can you tell us about the parade? What was the weather like?
It was hot, but it was not. It was manageable, but yeah, it was still kind of hot.
It's already hot in Jackson?
It was like 77 degrees up there.
Damn.
But yeah, my video is actually premiering right now. Y'all, I'm gonna drop the link so y'all can tune in
Drop
and
the
watch
link
it.
because we getting off of here so we can go over there. Black folks hold
But yeah,
St.
it was
Patrick's Day events. Was it a Black St. Patrick's Day parade?
it was
I know there'd
it
be a
was
whole
more
bunch of
than
black
me.
folks there. Oh, it was mixed.
Yeah.
Well, we had junior day. Were you back? Did you go back on campus? I thought I saw you at a game.
What?
Was you at a game today?
Oh, I was at the
On
softball
campus?
game after the parade.
Did we win? What did we
Uh,
play? Did we play Bethune?
no, baseball played Bethune. Softball played Alabama State.
Well, did either of them win?
Well, unfortunately, both teams lost the last game of the series. However, both teams they won the. I'm up here stuttering. They won the series.
They won the series.
Yeah. Oh, what's up? What's up, Jerome? I don't think I spoke to you.
What's going on, sir? You been doing all right?
Yeah, I've been making it.
Yeah.
Job shut down for a week, but we open back up, so we back working again.
You got to get on that Sonic Boom Media thing.
Huh?
So we got to get you on that Sonic Boom Media team.
The Sonic Boom.
Or Jackson State's media team. How about that?
Hey, let me
Are you
know.
open?
Just let me know.
All right.
Why are they saying that have you guys seen the movie or this TV show Severance?
Oh,
Have you guys seen
oh,
that?
I know what you're talking about. You must have seen that clip on Twitter.
Jerome,
Yeah.
was that the Sonic Boom of the South in there, or was that the Sonic Boom of the South in that movie? I mean, in that show, or was that just
They were made up of a lot
a?
of, if it was Hampton, Johnson C. Smith, maybe another school, but uh, definitely some JSU influence, though.
Definitely.
I don't know if you
Somebody
saw the
just
interview. There was an interview with what's the brother's name? Tramel. He talked about it.
Tramel Tillman.
He talked about that scene, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a graduate of Jackson State, which houses the Sonic Boom of the South. So I had to da 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 da." There's an article. There's a couple of articles out there about that scene. I'm talking about it.
Oh yeah, because they just said so. The marching band in Severance was definitely the Sonic Boom, right? Because Tremel Tillman Milchick went to Jackson State. No spoilers, please. I know I wouldn't have wanted to accidentally read one, but this connection has to be made. Look at their uniforms.
Yeah, that's definitely
I don't
true.
even know what this is about. Is it a scary show or something? I don't know what this is about.
I definitely gotta tune in though.
Huh?
Yes, I haven't watched it, but I definitely want to tune in because I see a lot of chatter on social media. Even before this scene, there's like a lot of folks that have been tuning into that.
It's like third season. That's one of those things you have to binge watch.
Yeah.
Severance isn't scary at all. Well, is it weird? Because when I was reading it, it sounded weird. Like there was a young man from the media team covering JSU at the Swac bowling tournament shooting with his Canon camera. Okay. The bowling. So we did have the bowling, the Swac bowling tournament. I want to say, I don't know who won. Let me see. I know Jackson State lost in the second
Unfortunately,
round because it's like a
yeah.
double elimination, right? It's a double elimination type of tournament, right?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we won our first game, but we got knocked off by Alabama A&M, so we're not in it anymore.
So who's left?
Well,
Prairie
Prairie View,
View
yeah,
and
Prairie View's in the championship, but it's
who?
between
Southern.
Alabama State and Southern for the other spot.
Southern. Okay. Okay. What those commissioner cups looking like? They haven't changed it yet. I'm pretty sure Southern winning both SWAC championships in basketball has probably taken the lead.
When I last saw it, Jack State was in the league, so I don't know. It might have changed by now. I'm not
they,
sure.
they haven't updated it yet, nephew. It's still the
Oh,
same amount. Yeah. Well, this has been a night. I'm going to put Brax to sleep. And Jay, once again, give us the rundown for today's events before we go to sleep. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, it's nice and clear.
you talking about my video?
No, you know, yes.
See?
You said it was hot. Did they have other bands besides Sonic Boom of the South?
Oh yeah, they had the local high school bands there. Jim Hill, Forest Hill, Callaway. Um, it was another band. I forgot the name of the school. I forgot the name of the school, but they had the local high school bands there, and they also had some. I don't know if they were second line bands. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we didn't get to perform in the other parade, right, Jerome, because of the hurricane weather. I mean, not hurricane, tornado weather. And there was a lot of tornadoes that week, too, in Mississippi
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah,
Louisiana.
oh yeah. I think they said Mississippi got hit with like what, two or maybe three. Yeah, but Tylertown got hit bad. Then there was one in Belzoni and another one in, but I think Greenwood area, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right. Well, I will see y'all back on Thursday. Hopefully, Coppin State or Howard or Texas Southern will advance in the WNIT. Did Jackson State have a pro day?
yeah, Lanier. That's who it was. Lanier. That's the school I was missing.
I want to say Jackson State either is having a pro day this week or they already had it closed.
Okay.
Closed.
Oh
17
yeah.
tornadoes in one earthquake.
Oh yeah. We got hit with an earthquake too. That was crazy.
Earthquake in Mississippi?
It was a 3.0
God is not
magnitude.
pleased, y'all. God is not pleased. Y'all keep your head on the swivel. Yes. Whitley, that's how I'm going. That's how I'm coming. Y'all be safe.
Alexa, play
Thank you
Thanks for
guys
My
for
Man
tuning in,
today.
y'all. Stay prayed up, y'all.
See you Thursday.
All right, black people.
This sounds good, nephew.
I've had some good days and some sleepless nights. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I follow the clouds hang low. I can hardly see the road. I ask the question, Lord. Lord, why so this day? But He knows what's best for me. Although my weary eyes, they can't see. So I'll just say, thank you, Lord.